Hey and hello there everyone. Welcome to what might be our final shiny hunting stream. Not ever, of course. Like there will be some Pokemon and some shiny hunts that will do as like special streams and stuff like that. Like there are other Pokemon I could shiny hunt. There might even be other games I do some shiny hunting in. But just at the minute, for if you're watching this live or kind of close to the time, we've been doing like shiny hunts every Saturday for the past like I don't know 6 or 7 weeks or so, just to kind of like bridge the gap. And this might be the last one of those bridging the gap ones, and before we kind of start moving on to a whole bunch of other games, which is something that I would love to talk with you guys about today. Like, what games would you like to see me play? Because I think I kind of maybe decided the one I'm gonna play next week, but I kind of want to hear what you guys are interested in seeing me play. Of the things that are actually available to me, please don't just yell random games at me, because I'm not in a position where I can just go out and buy any game I want and then start streaming it. So, before we get into the game, well, no, I suppose we could actually sort of like start booting up the game, but let's say hi to some people. So, Lovecat Mew Mew, hi, hello, welcome. And Kevin, hi, and Xander, hi, and Davon, hi, and Akira, hi, and Kramen, hi. I like Kramen, and I hope you like Kramen too. In Persona 5, I am currently at the point where we're getting ready for like the first batch of exams. Like the exams start on Wednesday, so I got a lot of cramming to do. Your girl Z Unique, hi, lovely to see you. Has it been a while? I don't feel like it's been a while, but it's lovely to see you anyway. And Kevin, hi. No, wait, I said hi to Kevin. Well, hi, Kevin. Hi again, Kevin. And Archie, hi. Welcome. So, I do apologize. Unfortunately, like, Stream Elements is having some issue whereby if there is any Wonga, it will be a bit harder for me to see it, because I used to have like an activity thing where it would show me if there's Wonga. I get like a note in the chat, but then I would also get this extra note as well. So like, if the chat keeps going and like, the Wonga message gets pushed off of chat, I would still have it available on like my other thing. But unfortunately that thing just keeps repeatedly not working, which is really weird and stuff. So I now actually have like a different widget thing in place, because I was like, oh, I'll see what this other widget does. I don't really know what it does or whether it's going to be useful, but yeah, it looks kind of pretty on my screen. But yeah, Archie, you have Saturday off again. Well, thank you, because yeah, no, I sort of been thinking, yeah, I haven't seen you as much. So, whereas your girl's unique. Like, has it been a while? Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I see you. I feel like I've seen you a bunch. But if I haven't seen you for a while, then I'm sorry. But like, I feel like you're there in spirit. Your girls are unique. So who are we hunting today? I am Mr. Gold asks. That's a good question. Yeah, even Stream Elements wasn't working for Sarah. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with it. Because I just tried to like actually log onto it on the website, and like it wasn't even working as like go on the browser, streamelements.com, connect with YouTube, wasn't working. Just I couldn't even like log into it. So I think they've got some kind of issue. So anyway, what are we hunting today? Good question. So in the thumbnail I made weeks ago, the very sort of psychedelic thumbnail that I made weeks ago, I just put a bunch of Pokemon that were kind of on my list that I hadn't captured any of yet or whatever, or that I still needed. And as I kind of pointed out on social media, a lot of these Pokemon I have since obtained. I've either obtained for the most part, I've obtained the full evolutionary family, or I have obtained, or I've like obtained, like sort of, or I kind of like pretty much essentially have like, maybe I need like, oh, I need this one, but in like the other gender or something like that, like some weird sort of technicality. But for the most part, like I have got everything that I need, and I'm sure at some point later on I will read out my list of shiny Pokemon that I still need. But right here, right now, even as I look at these mass outbreak Pokemon, because I just wanted to see, oh, do I need any of the mass outbreak Pokemon? The answer's no. I've got all of them. I've got Drifblim and Rockruff. Like, we got Lycanroc you know, sort of thing. Like, I showed you guys how to get a Lycanroc yourselves, like, even the Dusk form Lycanroc. You know, like, I've got Oikalone. I've got Oikalone in, like, both genders. I've got Psyduck and Golduck. I've got Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar. Like, I've got all of them. So, the only ones that are on the thumbnail that we still need are the Galarian starters. So I thought, hey, let's see if we can get the starters, and then we can take it from there. Let me just check one thing. I do just want to check one thing before we get into things. I just want to check. There is a Pokemon I have that I do just want to check, like, do I definitely have it, or do I need one more of it? Because sometimes you get a bit confused. Sometimes you think, I have one of those, right? Or whatever, and then you don't. How many shiny Pokemon have I caught in the past? I checked, hang on. Did I... Hang on, I got loads of Persona 5 screenshots. Did I get pictures from Pokemon Home? Spoilers for Persona. No, I'm only in like the first chapter, so it's not a big deal. Oh, hang on, I can just go like, okay, I don't have any Pokemon Home. But I have, like, basically, the funny thing is I can't remember the exact number, but if I get one more today, I will have 75% of the Pokedex as shiny registered in Pokemon Home. So it was something like 764, and it's like, oh, if I get a 765, that will get me to 75%. So as long as I get one new Pokemon today, then I will have 75% of the Pokedex. I did put this in a chat message earlier. Hang on, where the heck? Pokemon name. Oh, there we go. I do apologize. If there's any, like, banging or drilling or buzzing, there is a house that I can see outside our window that is, like, it's getting, like, new windows replaced or something. So we may get some loud banging and stuff. And yeah. But anyway, hang on, let me just check. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I can hear some buzzing. It sounds like a bee is farting outside my window very loudly at the minute. But okay. And then if I just check, I just want to check one Pokemon. I just want to check that I can do one thing today that will be safe to do. I just don't want to do this and rush it. But hang on, 1, 2, 3. Okay, excellent. Right. What I'm about to do, this will not count as, this won't count as my, hang on, we'll make that bigger. This won't count as my 75%er. We do actually need to catch at least one today. But as of yesterday, I now have, as of yesterday, and then using this rare candy, I now have every single shiny form of Deerling and of Sawsbuck. You can see the pink flower on its head instead of a yellow flower. That's the difference for Deerling. And then as we evolve it... No, yeah, luckily there's, it's quite quiet. But the banging earlier was, like, genuinely loud. So you probably would hear that. If they do loud banging again, you would probably hear that. The buzzing was quite quiet. Like, that's only for me. But, and now we've got Sawsbuck, which, as you can see, looks kind of the same. The brown fur is lighter. Ooh, nice. So there you go. There's a shiny Sawsbuck for you. I guess you'll get rid of Solar Beam. Ah, Solar Beam. A move that could be so cool, but it's just that whole two-turn thing. Tenchi, hi! Welcome. So, hang on, let's see. You girls are unique. You've been really busy with classes and work and prepping for show week, but glad you could catch me today. Not sure if you'll be able to next week since that's show day. Well, I will wish you very good luck for show day. right here, right now, before I forget. I hope it goes well. And thank you for joining me today. And yeah, we'll talk about what the heck we're doing for next week. I do need to evolve this Seadra as well, but I will... I have a friend who I will do that with. Okay, so... what are we doing? What are we doing? That is a good question. So let's actually get into things. We have evolved one shiny Pokemon. Woo! But yeah, so I now have every single form of Deerling and Sawsbuck, which is pretty, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild. But we said, what did we say? We said that we're going to. So yeah, on my very psychedelic thumbnail, I have like caught all of those Pokemon on stream except for Smeargle, which I got off stream. I found one off stream. Unless I find one today, that would be kind of funny. So what are we gonna do? But the Galarian starters, we haven't got any of the Galarian starters on a stream. They're like the only three where I don't have them on a stream. I haven't caught them on a stream, but like, oh, for the love of Nelly, where I haven't caught them on a stream, but I still need to get some. So let's see if we can get at least one of each, you know? Like, I might not be able to get like 3 of each, but let's see if we can just get one of each, you know? It saves me a load of effort in like 2 years from now when they have like a Pokemon Go community day. So, okay. So we're here. Hopefully this is the right location. So let's start with Sobble, and then we'll go with Scorbunny, and then we'll end on Grookey. Because Grookey's the one that kept getting away from us, which was really annoying. Okay. But, oh, Archie, you started your full-time job like a month and a half ago. That totally makes sense. Well, thank you for, you know, if you have having a Saturday off, spending it with me. That's very lovely. But, okay. So what are we doing? We're doing cucumber. So hang on, we're gonna go onion, and then that, and then burger, and then oh, hang on, what do we do? Should we go sour cucumbers? Isn't that just pickles? If we start finding shiny fighting type Pokemon, then that'll answer our question. Okay. But anyway, Bark. Right. Okay. Hang on, we'll do our asymmetrical burgers, because that's just how you gotta stack them in this game. Right. Okay. How am I gonna stack this? This is the question, actually, because I don't want any of these things to fly off. But cucumbers are a bit hard because they're just chunky enough to kind of like be a blockade. You know, there are some things like onions are like really thin, so they don't really like obstruct anything, but the cucumbers do. So, oh, thank you, Kramin, for doing the whole if I had graphics, this is what would be on screen at the minute thing. Kevin, if we don't get a shiny, you'll sob. No, and so you can either sob or you can shop. For anyone who remembers Pokemon Sword last year. Okay, here we go. So let's see. Hopefully I am in the right place for Sobble. Hopefully this sandwich is good. Oh, yes. So I put a bunch of conversation topics today. I can't remember anything I said. We will talk... Hang on. So sparkling, encounter, and title. Okay, good. Good. Nice. Okay, so... So let's see what we got here. I might need to write on... Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, this will be a little bit hard to see just because... we're not playing in handheld. But let's see what we got. So basically, the shiny Sobble will have like a sort of reddy, pinky, orangey sort of like fin on its head instead of yellow. It'll be like a little bit lighter in color, but I feel like because it's nighttime, they already look a little bit like lighter in color. So we'll see how this goes. But we'll see. Chat, how quickly sandwich lasts for half an hour. Let's play the how many minutes left will be on the clock. So I look at the clock, it's like, oh, 29 minutes. How many minutes will be left on the clock when we get shiny Sobble? And if you don't think we'll get one at all, put 0. But but like, be optimistic. But how many minutes do you think we'll have left? Do you think we'll get one? Like, do you think we'll get one like in a minute? Do you think there'll be like 28 minutes left on the clock? Do you think that there'll be like? Do you think we'll get one after 5 minutes? So there'll be like 25 minutes left on the clock. Let me know what you think. How many minutes do you think? Do you think it'll come down to like the final minute? Like there'll be 1 minute left, and it'll be like, chat, spam the emojis, and then like we'll finally get a Sobble. Predict your number of minutes left, and whoever is closest will not win a prize. Because again, I don't have money or nice things to share with all you guys. I'm sorry. So I hope maybe someday. But right here, right now, we're just looking for a pink fin. I think unfortunately one thing is that when they spawn in as well, the fin doesn't really like spawn in very much. So it's like a little bit harder to like see, but we'll see. I will just kind of do this mixture of like riding and then hopping off so we can like look closely. And then, oh look, that's nice. There's like a whole bunch of them here, but look, they've all got yellow on their head. Yellow on the head, yellow on the head. We can always try the different mud patches as well. If like this mud patch doesn't work out. But this is like the biggest. So basically Sobble appears at all the different mud patches. So like there's like this one here, and I think like this one here, and is it like this one here or something like that? It appears at like the different mud patches. But we'll have to see. That's the thing. It might be hard to get a Sobble just because, as you can see, they're not spawning at a tremendously huge rate. It's a bit tough. And oh, there are the farting bees again. But yeah, but you guys probably can't hear that because that is kind of quiet. But like, it's loud enough for me, but it's not. It's hopefully not too crazy loud or anything for you. Okay, let's see here on Sobble. That's a name you should know. We love Sobble. Sobble is so cute. And so anxious, poor thing. Okay. Let's see. They do like to spawn around like these rocks here, don't they? So that could be something to just keep in mind, like that, you know, it's like, oh, we'll run over here kind of thing, and then we'll turn around, and then we'll come back this way, and then hopefully they'll like start spawning, you know, when we like reach this rock again. Okay, so what were the different things I said I was going to talk about? Oh, one thing I listed was I don't know if I really said about this, or maybe I did sort of say about it, but I didn't have the thing yet, so I haven't said about it beyond it. But so I talked all about getting a USB stick for extra storage. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about all that again. It's like, oh, thank goodness. Like we heard all about Google Drive once before. We don't need to again. But when I got that stick, I can't remember whether I said I also bought, because it's like, if you're gonna like pay a load for delivery, you may as well buy something else and get the free shipping kind of thing. I bought a therapy lamp, which is sort of like a light. It's like a bright light that you kind of sit next to for about like half an hour in the morning, and it helps if you have SAD, which I've never been like officially diagnosed with SAD, but like I know I have SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, which basically just means I don't do very well when there's like sort of a lack of sunlight, when there's like gloomy days and stuff like that kind of thing, like when it's like rainy or very, very cloudy and stuff. And unfortunately, we are kind of just in that season here in LA. We had like 3 days in a row of just like kind of pretty much non-stop rain. We had like a day and a half of like solid rain, and then it stopped for like an afternoon, and then it like picked up again on and off for like the next day or so. So yeah, and I struggle with it, and I know it's like, but you grew up in England. It's like, I know, and I kind of didn't realize until I went to a place that actually had sunshine, how much this thing has probably held me back my whole life, but that I just never knew it was like a thing. So yeah, I got this therapy light thing, and oh man, that thing, you can barely see the fin on that one. Do you know what I mean? Like, that fin looks so thin. There we go. We can see it's yellow there. Oh, you go on the balloon with the life raft thing. Ugh. Don't really know what you call that. Like the floaty thing, though. Like the dinghy. I know, like, dinghy maybe isn't a word that a lot of people use in America, but that's the best I can think of. Like, Meowscarada's on the little dinghy. But yeah, but I got this light, and it hadn't arrived. Oh, man, so this is just the game being laggy, not the stream. So I'll let you know if, like, I see that the stream's being laggy, but this is just the poor quality of the game. Like, when it does that, unfortunately, this game just does not handle moving about in water well. And if you're thinking, but Beau, you're not in water, you're like in mud, and it's like, I know, but the game kind of classifies it as water. Thus why, like, Meowscarada is sometimes floating around on that little dinghy thing. So, yeah, so I do apologize for the lag. That is the game and not me. Like, that's all just the game. No, Sobble, no, Shobble, no. So, let me just see. Sobble was your starter in Galar, and you love him dearly, Kevin says. Let's see. And then... Oh, Tenchi says they from your experience, they spawn better in the smaller mud pools. So we'll give that a go in a second. Yogazi Unique says 7 minutes. 7 sounds like a solid number. Love Cat Mew Mew said 7. That's interesting that you both said 7. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Where was it? Akira said 20 to 25. Kevin says 20 left. Xander says 22. Love Cat Mew Mew also then said 19. I Am Mr. Gold said 15. Okay, interesting. So basically, we're being optimistic that we're going to get one in, like, the first half. Let's switch to... The game is lagging trying to load all of those Sobble tears, Kevin says. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's like just adding water on top of water. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I tell you what. Let's go to the other pools. Hang on. Sorry. I do apologize for, like, pausing, like, twice in a minute. And also, my fingernails are way too long, which means every time I'm touching my phone, I need just hold my phone in my hand. Hold my phone in my hand. I'm trying to, like, reach out to my phone. I've got it propped up on a thing, and it's like, no. Like, don't just pick it up. Because if you pick it up, you can swipe your phone without your fingernails poking it. My fingernails are too long at the minute. Okay. Right. So we'll try this one next. This one's like the medium size of the 3, and then we'll go to the other one because I think we've probably been going about. Yeah, we've been going like 7 minutes. So I did just see 20. So we just saw like 22. A prediction of 22 minutes left. So let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get one in like the next minute or so. Because in fairness, we're wasting a minute. We're wasting a minute running over to this thing, so that's not fair for the 22-minute prediction. Right. Okay. Right, so here's some smaller mud. Okay, let's see. So here we go. Sobble. I'm just going to do a slower walk just so that they have a chance to, like, spawn in a bit. Oh, okay, hang on. We got a couple here. Okay. That's not bad. Oh, no. There. Didn't mean to turn that fast. The only problem with here is that, see, the thing about the bigger pool is with the bigger pool, you get more... I'm sorry, I'm wary of saying the word pool in case I don't really pronounce the L very well. Let's just say, if you have a bigger patch of mud, let's say that, the thing about a bigger patch of mud is if there's, like, more sort of mud on the screen... then it means that, like, more Sobbles will appear. But in fairness, this patch of mud is, like, big enough such that we are seeing lots of Sobbles. As long as we're like facing the right angle and the right direction. But see, can you see this Sobble ahead of us? Like, I can't see the fin on that at all. It's like it's only if you get right up close to it that you can kind of see, like, oh, okay, those have got yellow, and then I think that's a Rowlet. Wrong starter, buddy. Wrong starter. There's Magmar. So, because we are spawning a lot of non-Sobble Pokemon is the issue here. But we'll give this a go for a few minutes. We'll see how this goes, and then I'm hoping that the fact it is like a slightly, it's like slightly purpley as well. Like it's still blue. The Sobble is still blue. So if you're looking up, if you've looked up the picture of shiny Sobble, if you've used one of Kramen's very helpful links, if you look up the Sobble, it's definitely still blue, but it's like a more purpley blue kind of thing. Like a bit of violet has been just a little bit of violet has been sort of snuck in there and smudged in with all the blue. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe I will notice if we do, like, I don't have to just look out for, like, the sort of reddy, pinky, orangey fin, that I can also look out, that I will just spot one that looks like a different shade of blue, and I'll be like, oh, that's a different shade of blue, and then we can, like, go get it, but we'll have to see, we'll have to see. Right, despawn, Sobbles, despawn. Despawn, despawn, despawn. The only other problem as well is I'm worried if I don't despawn them because I'm not running far enough away, kind of thing. Like if I'm running around in circles like this, I could be like, oh, there's loads of Sobbles, but I could just be looking at the same like 6 Sobbles again and again and again. But yeah, sorry. So therapy lamps. So yeah, therapy lamps. So I've wanted to try one for ages. I thought that they were like expensive. Maybe they were, but they aren't now. Maybe I've just got a very cheap one, which I suspect. Maybe it's a mixture of both things, though, that I've got a cheap one, but they are also cheaper. But I'm glad I looked into it, and I'm going to give it a go, and I am quite enjoying it, and it kind of feels like it's helping. Like, I actually do quite enjoy it. Like, when it turns off, I do feel kind of disappointed, because I was like, oh, that was actually quite nice. Like, having that extra light. You don't realize, like, how dark it is in the morning. Until you have a bright light shining on your face from a distance for like 20 minutes, you know, or for like 30 minutes. As soon as it clicks off, you're just like, oh, whoa, it's like dark in here, you know. But I think the problem is I'd love to use it for a bit longer. The one that I have, it has 4 timer settings on it, right? It has like, it has like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 60 minutes, right? And I would love to do the 45-minute option, but the problem is whenever I've looked up like light boxes online, I haven't seen anything that can justify like, oh yeah, you can use them for like 45 minutes. Like the things I've found have sort of been like, like 20 to 30. So I've only been doing 30 at the minute, like 30 minutes of sitting in front of it. But I'd really love to do 45. And so I might try and do a bit of sleuthing online to see if I can find anyone who can justify 45 minutes, because I'm enjoying 45, but I obviously don't want to do anything that could be like, you know, like one thing that helps with like my mental health or like my brain chemical health, but then like messes up some other aspect of your health, like my eyesight. Can make my eyesight get even worse, like having bright light shine indirectly on your eyes or something like that, you know. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Everything has to, all things in moderation. Okay, let's see. Come on, so I wish I didn't have to ride around on Koraidon for this, but the mud gets so thick and gloopy and like quicksand-like that that you just can't really risk it, unfortunately. So let me see. What chat is saying. Oh, Tenchi, this is where you did your hunt. But let's see. Yeah, that's thing. This is another Neo. Hello, welcome. This is a hunt where, in all honesty, if I were genuinely trying to do this hunt, this would be a hunt I would prefer to do in handheld mode. But I put it in the thumbnail because I was just like, I need the Galar starters and like Sword and Shield and some of my favorite Pokemon games, and yeah, like so I kind of thought, just put them in there because I knew how to get Grookey, and I kind of like and I kind of knew how to get Sobble, so I was kind of like, well, I'm sure. Sorry, I knew how to get Grookey. I kind of knew how to get Score Bunny, and then I was like, Sobble's probably like kind of easy to get or whatever. Actually, can you just run around here? Because maybe I should actually, like, you know, test theories instead of making presumptions. Okay, I have an idea. Hang on. I have an idea. Nope, nope. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Okay, that was like a freeze on the game, not on the stream. That was very scary, though. Like, the music stopped and everything there. Let's get Walking Wake out. Because Walking Wake can kind of, like, help clear them up. What? Oh, for the love of Nelly! Walking Wake can kind of help clear them up. Whilst I kind of run around a bit and stuff like that. So, Neo, you caught 3 shinies without sandwiches, only with outbreaks. Nice, that's good. I have gotten quite a few Pokemon from just outbreaks without needing to resort to sandwiches. It kind of depends on like where the outbreak is, what the Pokemon is, how many of them are spawning and stuff. You know, so it just kind of depends. Like, some outbreaks are better than others. But yeah, I have been very fortunate to get a few outbreak shinies. Quite a few, actually, without needing to make a sandwich, which has been really cool. But then there have been some where I'm like, I'm going to see if I can do this without a sandwich. And then, like... And then I run away, and I come back, and I set up a picnic, and I put the picnic down, and I do all this stuff, and I'm just like... Why did I do that? You know, like, why did I just spent so much time trying to do that, and I should have just made a sandwich and not been thrifty. But yeah, I'm actually running out of sandwich ingredients as well. Walking Wait, can you like attack them, please? Thank you. I'm actually running out of sandwich ingredients as well, but I don't want to waste a load of time doing raids. So that's kind of also a reason why I kind of like I kind of got enough ingredients where I was like, I think this should just about cover the like remaining shinies that I need. And in all honesty, it's been a pretty good estimate. So, and it's worked pretty well. So yeah. Yeah. So that's been good. So, Walking Wake, can you, like, attack some Sobbles or something, please? I don't know what you're doing. Just, I think one of the reasons why this isn't doing it very well is because, like, the rocks and the mud kind of count as, like, different textures, and so it's kind of afraid of, like, running up one thing and then going down another, and if that makes sense. Like, can you see what I mean? Look, it's like, it kind of jutters around because it's like, oh, there are all these different, like, surfaces to run on. So maybe I need, like, a flying type or something. Maybe I need, like, maybe I need something that will, like, fly along and just attack things whilst it's, like, in the air. But I don't know if I have anything like that. I have Pelipper. Does Pelipper count? Okay, let's see what chat's saying quick. Kale, hi! You do your majority of hunts like that, no sandwiches. You just like hoarding Herba Mystica. I used to, but then I was like, I have so much now. Like, I'm gonna like start using it up, you know? Like, I'm not gonna... Because again, like, I'm kind of running out of Pokemon to hunt on this game, so there's no point in having There's no point in like hoarding Herba Mystica if you then don't even need it, you know? So yeah. You got Growlithe as well as 2 Rookity, Neo says. But let's see. And then let's just see. Okay. Okay. Oh, hang on. Actually, hang on. I'm just going to do one other quick thing. Just want to check one thing. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Is my stream playing up or so I'm just checking one thing. No, scroll down there we go. Okay, cool. Right, okay, hang on, right, so Got the picture of Sobble. Chat's back. Okay. Come on, walking awake. Let's go. Okay. So what was the other thing? Oh, so whilst we've got some of our Xenoblade peeps here, I will talk about Xenoblade less and less as I move further and as it moves further and further into my past. Oh, the game froze there. Not me. But yeah, no. But there was one thing about Xenoblade 3 that I realized I forgot to talk about last week. I remembered it several times during the stream, but then I kept not bringing it up. And then I remember when, like, Kevin left, I was like, oh, I didn't do the Xenoblade thing. I was like, oh, well, I'll do it in a minute, and then I can, like, I don't know. And then if, like, we talk on Twitter or anything, I can say, like, oh, yeah, there was a thing you might want to check out after you left last week. But then I still didn't do it, kind of thing. So whilst my Xenoblade peeps are here, I'll say my Xenoblade thing. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3. In Xenoblade Chronicles 3, there are two NPC characters. One is called Mwamba, and the other is called Nimue. And I liked these characters. They weren't like huge roles or whatever, but like they were interesting characters, and I kind of just felt this like. I don't know, there was just something about them where I felt like this kind of like attachment or something. And as such, I wrote a very, sort of passionate, but like sort of personal song about these two characters. I know that sounds really weird, but I was just wondering for like my even if you're not a Xenoblade peep, you might still appreciate this. So would you guys like me to kind of to sing this song for you? Oh, the game is freezing because of all the water. How long do we have left on this, by the way? We have 10 minutes, okay. So unfortunately, a lot of I think everyone's predictions were kind of in like the first half of the half an hour, and we are now in the final like 10 minutes. So I don't know if any of the predictions were like in like the final 10 minutes, but I can't recall seeing anyone who was like, I don't think you'll get one until the final 10 minutes, but Beau, you holding out on me? A little bit. No, sorry. So I will get to this song in a minute. Sorry, I am just trying to look at these fins as well. Like I'm trying to think of singing a song, and also just being like yellow, pink. And yeah. Okay. Okay. So here is my song. So even if you don't know about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, hopefully you will still enjoy this song about Mwamba and Nimue. Oh, hang on, shiny. Okay, sorry. Sorry, there's a legitimately a shiny. Like that is legitimately a shiny on the screen right now. I'm sorry. This will have to hold. Wait a second. Yes, shiny. We didn't even need any emojis. I was actually. It's really annoying. I was gonna say I think around like 20 minutes in is when we'll get it, and it was about 20 minutes in, but I didn't say it, and here we are. So, okay. Okay, there we go. We got the shiny Sobble, the water lizard itself. Look, it's so cute. Okay, so now we'll continue hunting for Sobble. Let's see, how many will we get? Will we get 1, 2, or 3? Put your prediction in the chat whilst I serenade you with my song about Mwamba and Nimue. Sorry, I'm being silly. Mwamba way, a Nimue way, Mwamba way, a Nimue way, Mwamba way, a Nimue way, Mwamba way, no Nimue way, in the Keves and in the Agnes. Okay, that's it, that's the joke, sorry. I did not write a song. But just, when I heard Mwamba's name, my brain immediately went to like, Mwamba way, Mwamba way, Mwamba way, Mwamba way. And then at some point, like Nimue, I think because Nimue kind of came in there, and that's kind of what I was thinking. So like often throughout that game, that is what my brain was doing. Just going, Mwamba way, Nimue way, Mwamba way, Nimue way. So there we go. So I'm sorry to troll you. I'm sorry. I just Lion King rickrolled you. And I do apologize. Although that song's actually not that song's not like from the Lion King. It's just a lot of people would know it from the Lion King. So there you go. So there we go. Kevin, I should have Sparkin known. So yeah, I am sorry. I am sorry. I saw people put in numbers, and I was like, what? Why are people putting numbers? I'm like, oh right, because I asked you how many Sobble that I was going to catch. Such is the speed of how quickly we change top. Hang on a minute. Oh, for a second I thought that looked grey. I couldn't see all the yellow on it, and I was like, that's not shiny, is it? But no. Okay. But yes. Okay, sweet. But no, so I apologize, but basically the point is that my brain like makes up all kinds of like silly songs and rhymes, and again, because I don't really know music, like my brain kind of like latches on, but it sort of I have like sort of tune and rhythm and stuff, but I just don't know like song lyrics and stuff, or like who actually sings what. So my brain just kind of like latches onto things and remembers them in weird ways, or makes weird little songs about things, and that was one of them. So there you go, you got a little bit of insight into how my brain works. Hang on, you're not you're shiny number 2. I was like, is that just the lighting? And then I saw the fin and was like, yes. Kramen, you thought the same thing. I know. Kramen, I was really worried that I had messed up the joke because I kept saying, like, Mwamba well, for one thing, I was worried that I was going to say Mwamba and Nimue, like, sort of thing. So here's my song about Mwamba and Nimue. Like, I thought I was going to do that. Like, I had to be very careful to say, so here's my song about Mwamba and Nimue, kind of thing. I had to really make sure I didn't go Mwamba and Nimue. But, okay, Tenchi, you're right. This was the place. This was the place. This was definitely the place. Because we just got, like, 2 in, like, 10 or 15 minutes. But, yeah, no. So I was really wet. But then as well, I was like, I should be saying, like, it was fine to say Mwamba and the character Nimue, but then I should have been saying Nimue and Mwamba. Because if you say Mwamba and Nimue, it kind of, again, it trigger, it does thing, it kind of like, so again, it's not, I'm not saying like this is unique to my brain. There are probably other people who, I mean, again, Kramen did like the same thing. But again, yeah, if you say Mwamba and Nimue, there's just something where you're like, Mwamba and Nimue, Mwamba. So yeah, so there you go. But again, you know, so but from the brain that brought you Hu Tao Mi Tao, comes Mwamba and Nimue. Wait, you thought that was another one? Oh no. No. You'll have to like send me back the clip later, but you thought there was but like a third one. Like this isn't just like on a replay, like, because admittedly I got a little bit caught up talking about Mwamba and Nimue there. Like that, I could have missed one. Oh well, if I missed one, we've got 2. Like, it's fine. I mean, 3 would have been amazing, I won't lie, but yeah. So what else? So therapy lamps. At the very beginning of this chat, I said, here's a bunch of things I'm going to talk about, and then I can't remember any of them. Because that's the problem. I wrote them out, so then my brain is like, you typed them out, so now you don't have to hold them in your head. Which is one of the pros of writing. It's sort of one of the pros and cons of writing things down. I always encourage people to write things down so that you don't have to hold them in your head. But the thing is, once you do start writing stuff down, your brain will be like, okay, I've written that out now. Now I have room for other things. And then it will just kind of like delete, you know, move those files to the trash bin because they've been backed up. Yes. So I will talk about Persona 5 in a bit, if that's okay, because it's what I've been playing for the last week, and I've wanted to play it for years, and now it's nice that I finally am playing it. Okay, we've got 3 minutes left. Chat. Emojis. I don't know if they're tadpoles or frogs, but like blue, I don't know, blue hearts, purple hearts, frogs, blue, purple, and pink hearts and like a frog. If you do that, we'll get the final shiny. I'm sure of it. Even though we actually didn't need any emojis to get the first two, I think to get the third and final one, we're going to need the power of emojis. So if you do those 3 colored hearts, light blue, purple, and pink, or violet and pink, something like that, and then a frog, we'll get the final one. I am sure of it. I think it was at a rock right after catching another one. In fairness, it could be bad lighting. We can check the feed afterwards or whatever. We can check the playback afterwards, or you're welcome to rewind and double check and have a look at what you were looking at, kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, actually, we had a message before. I'm just thinking. We had a message a week or 2 ago. Can't remember who said it, and I'm not, like, having a go at you, whoever it was, but who said, oh, like, every starter does the thing where they, like, gather around you. But is Sobble not, like, an anxious Pokemon? Like, look at how they get all anxious. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's kind of following me. Okay, because, like, sort of, they look like they're anxious. They look like they do the thing where, like, they will start running away from you. But, you know, like, haha, you know, it's like that, like that one turned away from me. So I'm just kind of wondering whether Sobble is like an exception to that rule. Because I think for the most part, a lot of the starters probably are quite like friendly. And so they would just like come up to you and stand in front of you. But yeah, does Sobble not run away though? I mean, look, that one's like running away. I don't know if maybe if it's, in fairness, there are some Pokemon which kind of, like if you get a bunch of Pokemon like all standing in front of you, and then you like attack one of them, they will run away. So maybe it's just like that kind of a reaction we're prompting from the Sobble here. But let's see. Come on. Let's see if we can get one more, because this would be funny if we could get 3 of these. That would be so amazing. Like we're not gonna go for 3 of them. Like we'll move on to like Score Bunny next or whatever. I mean, hey, if we get like 3 Score Bunnies and we get the number of Grookey's we need, and there's like nothing else we can shiny hunt for, then maybe we will go for Sobble. But if we could get this, that would be hilarious. And one of our most successful shiny hunts ever. But yeah, these have all got the yellow. Come on. Give me shiny number 3. But yeah, it's so hard with the lighting in this game. And again, unless the shiny is just a completely different color, like if we had like light blue Sobble and then like dark purple Sobble, you wouldn't you wouldn't like know. You wouldn't really know if you were looking at a shiny, or like you could be looking at a shiny and not realize it because of the lighting. Like the difference between, you know, sort of blue and like blue with like a hint of lavender in it is kind of, you know, negligible. Okay, let's see. We're still encountering a lot of Sobble, but I did... Ooh, there's an Exeggutor in the water. So this could be the end of the sandwich. Let's see. We'll see, because it could still... The sandwich could still be going. I don't want to check if the sandwich is still going just yet. Oh, game froze. Hang on. If your game, like, freezes, by the way, like, let go of the control sticks and stuff like that. Often I find... if I hold on to them, the game kind of is still struggling. But okay, they're deerlings. No, that's it now. That's definitely it. If there are the deerlings, that's definitely it. I will just check these other Sobble. If we can see a Sobble, we'll definitely check it. But I think that's it for the Sobble hunt. So that was successful. That was good. So next we will go for Score Bunny. Oh, and you did just wake up, yeah. No, we can, like, I mean, I can sort of check afterwards, or I'll try to remember to check afterwards. So, okay. Right, let's see. Okay, no, just emojis and stuff. So I haven't missed any chat, so that's good. Okay, so... Okay, the only other thing I'm worried about is if we do get Chimchars. This might take a bit of experimenting with Score Bunny, because I know it's like I know it can be like in like all kinds of places. I just don't know specifically like which ones it might be in. So we'll have to see. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. Let's keep going though. Oh, chat. Before I forget, because we're almost an hour into this, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. If you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying this, you like my silly songs and talk about light therapy and all that other stuff, please click like on that button if you haven't already. We've already got 2 shinies. We're going to try and get lots more before we talk about what game we're going to play next week. But please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hang on, I'm just going to save my game. I know we just saved the game, but I'm going to say 50 bajillion times, because that's what we do here at Beau Video Games. But please like. Do it right now. Do it right now. And then you can just sit back and enjoy the rest of the stream. But I know there's like a bunch of you watching right now, so it'd be just really cool if it'd be really cool if everyone just did that right now, and then bada bing, bada boom. It'd be cool if this one ended up being like the most liked and most watched of all the shiny hunts that we've done. But you know, I won't get my hopes up too much. But you know, a man can dream, though. A man can dream. Okay, so here we go. Luckily, I actually know how to make all the sandwiches we're making today. I don't need to look up any recipes. But then again, I've done so many shiny hunts now that, yeah, I do just remember, like, a bunch of the ingredients and flavor profiles and all that jazz. So, yeah. Right, red bell pepper, red bell pepper, red bell pepper, red bell pepper. Although I never called these bell peppers until I, like, you know, moved to America or anything. Because in England, you just call them, like, a red pepper. If you have something that's a bit more, like, chili-like or something, you just call it, like, a chili, or if it's, like, a different kind of pepper, like one of those long peppers, you'd call it whatever type of pepper it is. But, like, bell pepper, though, you just, in England, you just, like, that's just a pepper, and then, like, everything else is, like, a specific kind of pepper. So, yes, hydrate. I think I did just have some water a minute ago, but yes, let's have some water. I am Mr. Gold. Love how cheerful you are during your streams, man. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's so nice. Thank you. No, so that's the thing. You guys could probably name me a type, and I could tell you, like, what the, like, sandwich ingredient is, or I could, like, go through them now. So it's like normal type is tofu, red is red pepper or red bell pepper, water is cucumber, electric is yellow bell pepper, grass is lettuce, ice is the cloth stick. Hang on, sparkling, title, and counter. Okay, I might need to concentrate for a sec just whilst we try and figure out where the score bunnies are, because I worry that we might just get, like, Chimchars and maybe, like, Littens or something like that, but we'll figure this out. Okay, so there's Chimchar and a Snova. That's less than ideal. Okay, Chimchars. If we end up getting shiny Chimchar, that'll be hilarious. Oh, Score Bunny! Okay, here we go. So right, hang on. Let me just get a picture of Score Bunny up for reference. I know it's like white and grey or whatever, but... oh, no, actually... Oh, no, that's a complete lie. I'm thinking of Cinderace. Okay, it's actually like sort of yellowy, like an ambery yellow instead of red. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, just keep an eye on the ear tips. The ear tips should be a different color. So that should be good. Okay, we are so going to get a shiny Chimchar instead. I don't know if there is a place where you can, like, specifically go after, like, Score Bunny kind of thing instead of Chimchar, but, oh well, we'll have fun. We'll have fun figuring it out, right? Take that, Score Bunnies. Chat, enter your number predictions now for how many minutes left on the clock, okay? So we're at 29 minutes now. So if you think we're going to get one in the next 10 seconds, put a 29. But if you think that it's like how many minutes left, like when we sort of, you know, like we'll find a Score Bunny, it'll be like, oh my gosh, how many minutes left do we have on the clock? And we're going to look at that number. What will that number be? Put your numbers in now. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But no. Okay. So, I have... Oh, sandwich ingredients. So hang on. So we did ice is claw stick. And then, hang on, what other types? Because I'm sort of thinking of, like, the special types. What are the other special types? We've got dark and psychic. Dark is like... Oh, this is where I kind of start to forget them a bit. Dark is something like, one of the, like, meats or something, like prosciutto. Oh, hang on, wait. You look lighter. Hey! Hey, we got one! We got one! Nice! And that was a good zoom in as well. If any of you put 28, did any of you put 28? 18, Xander put 18. Oh no, what? It broke out? No, don't bounce up. Don't bounce, you can bounce for ours. Ugh. Right, we're gonna switch into Clodsire, it's gonna poison itself. Okay, well your guesses can be for the second score, Bunny. Okay. Right, using bond, take a bonds for ours. Okay. Right, poison? Poison? No. Okay. Da 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 da. Repeat ball. Okay, you have to get an uglier Pokeball, but whatever. I don't care about the Pokeball. I just want... There we go, we got it. This is going very well. I think maybe the universe knows that this is my final one. Kramin was going to put 28. Kramin, we're on very same wavelengths today, I know. So there we go. We got the score, buddy. Oh my gosh, how cute. Right, chat, we have 27 minutes. I can hear the buzzing bees outside again. So we've got 27 minutes, but let's see. Oh my god, hang on. These are all too small. Hang on. I'm a bit concerned about how small these are. Again, this is another, you do it in handheld mode hunt, really, because, like, they're so small. They're so small. It's a bit confusing, actually, because the Chimchar, a regular Chimchar is orange, is like a light enough orange that you could kind of think, ooh, is that like a shiny Score Bunny color? But no. Because you're kind of just, your brain... Is that a shiny Chim... No. That was just lighting. Okay. That Chimchar looked really weird in the light. Like, I was like, I don't think that's like a magenta-y color, but the lighting is definitely weird. Maybe you do just want a different camera angle, like from above or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the best camera angle is to highlight these things the best, but... okay. So like that one looks kind of dark, but then when you go up to it, it's like, oh no, it's orange. It's like, is it dark because it's a different, you know, because it's like a shiny? It's like, no, it's just dark because of reasons. Hang on, I'm seeing more Score Bunnies this direction, but no, now I'm seeing Chimchar again. I'm so glad we actually got a Score Bunny. Like, I thought we were like just gonna get like 2 Chimchars or something, and it's like, I already got this from like Pokemon Go Community Day. So this is cool. This is cool. This is going well. But chat, we had terrible luck with Grookey before, like in the past. Oh, smoked. There's like I was saying dark types. Dark types, it's like smoked something. I can't remember the exact meat, but it's like a smoked something or like prosciutto. I can't quite remember. And then because I was going through types, and then we found the shiny Score Bunny. Psychic is... Oh no, hang on. Is Psychic red onion? No. Maybe it is? I don't know. No, Psychic's just regular onion, isn't it? Yeah, Psychic's just regular onion. And then the, like, red onion is, like, ghost type. And then, these Chimchars, man, from the back, they look so dark. So you kind of almost think, like, oh, is this going to be, like, magenta when I, like, walk up to it? But, like, no. No. Okay, but, and then, what other? Ghost? I said ghost. I can't remember what I said it was, but I said it a minute ago. Or Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. But yeah, and then hang on. Let's go to some physical types. So like fighting type is like pickles. Poison is green bell pepper. If I looked at the sandwich ingredients, I could then tell you their corresponding things as well. Like even if I can't, if I say think of a type and then I can't think of the ingredient, if I saw the ingredient, I'd be able to tell you the type. But yeah, you just end up memorizing like so many of them from doing all these sandwich hunts and stuff. It's, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, it's pretty wild. So there we go. So is it a shiny or is it just bad lighting? I know we're playing that game again. So let's see. Kevin thinks the next Score Bunny will come last minute. Okay, I think that's a good prediction. Honestly, I think that's a good prediction. Like we'll get one early, and then we'll get one very late, like with like 3 minutes to go or something. I can get down with that prediction. That's a sound prediction for sure. Okay. Little squeaky bunnies. That Chimchar looked so light, even though it's like, yeah, but their shiny's kind of like dark. Like their shiny's kind of like a, what I'd call like a magenta-y reddish color or something like that. Or like it's like a reddy magenta or a magenta-y red, something like that. The annoying thing about the Score Bunnies is when they run, their ears go back, like their ears sort of fold down. So when they're like moving and like in running, their ears kind of like hide essentially, which is like a little bit annoying, like that kind of thing. Like once they're standing up, you can sort of see. It's like, oh, okay, there's like, you know, like right, red tips, red tips, red tips. But when they're running, you can't see the red. Like when this one stands up, you can see the red clearly. But when it's running away from you, it's just a little bit harder to see those red ears, which are like definitely the easiest part to identify. Like the feet change color as well, but you know the ears are where it's at. Look at these two Chimchar. Look how different those oranges look. Okay, so let's talk about, because I've talked enough about sandwich ingredients and that's boring. But let's talk about what game we're gonna do next, because this sandwich hunt is going very well. We're definitely not gonna, you know, like need any more. We're definitely not gonna be needing more shinies next. You know, needing to do more shiny hunting next week or whatever. That, you're not shiny, are you? No, that was just lighting. Okay. Again, and when they run from like the light into the shadow and stuff like that, all that is kind of a bit confusing as well. So having like these two Pokemon appear, like you look kind of light. Like I know you're not. I know you're not shiny, but just something about you looked lighter than the rest. And then having Chimchar, having like these like two different Pokemon, is a little bit throwing, a little bit of an off throw, but that's okay. And those two were on top of one another. But no, let's get to the game we're going to be playing next week. Because last week I talked about some of the ideas, but I want to hear from you guys. Like I do want you guys in chat. Like if you are at your keyboards, like if you have been putting in messages, and you have been chatting, and you have been participating in chat, I want you to participate in chat about this, okay? So, because I had a few different ideas. Last week, I said things like, oh, we could finally do Luigi's Mansion 3, the game that I was going to do last September, and I never did it. Hang on, that looks shiny. Yes! Oh my gosh, that's 2, baby! That's 2! 2! Get in! Oh, for the love of Nick, can you go in a quick ball? Can you go in a quick ball, please? Oh, it knows double edge. Oh, I didn't know they know double edge. Okay, hang on then. I know what to do here. This is fine. Kevin, I do apologize that your prediction seems to have, well, your correction isn't necessarily wrong, but it's just not as correct as perhaps it could be interpreted. Like, the interpretation could be that we won't get any more until the end. You know, your prediction that we could still get one, like, at the end is still totally valid. But, oh, can you stop using double edge? Because I didn't save before this one. This is legit scary. But we got the other one without a status, so I'm sure if we just keep hocking... There we go, we got it. Oh, double, it's scary stuff, man. So I switched in Belly Bolt there. One, because it's quite tanky, so, like, the Score Bunny won't take as much damage. But also because my Belly Bolt has static. My Belly Bolt has static. So, so by having static, it means that... it means that it could get paralyzed, so that's, like, very helpful. Oh, that's a Chimchar. I thought I saw another one there, but it's a Chimchar. It's a Chimchar. Okay. So every time I keep trying to talk about one of my big topics for today, we find a shiny. So let's continue talking about, let's continue trying to talk about what game are we going to play next week? Good question. Hang on. Oh, no, that was just lighting. Yeah, no, that's just lighting. Okay, that one looked really weird for, like, the longest time there. Once I got up close to it, it was like, no, yeah, that's a normal Chimchar. But that was very weird. Okay, so anyway, Bark. But let's talk about the game. So I said about Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm just waiting to see if a shiny appears on screen. I said about Luigi's Mansion 3. But we said about Luigi's Mansion 3. And that was something I was going to play in September, and I was like, maybe we could play Luigi's Mansion 3. I also said there were some, like, classic games we could do, like Donkey Kong Country. Like, we could do Donkey Kong Country. We could do the Donkey Kong Country games. They're really fun. I could definitely do a few streams, like, devoted to those. Because again, I have a big plan for, like, I don't know, like, spring onwards or something, but I need some smaller things to, like, fill the gap until then. So that's why I'm kind of like, you know, I need to fill something else, and I need to do these other games or whatever. I was thinking I could do, like, Metroid, but I always kind of pictured doing Metroid games at another time. But, like, the original Metroid games, they're, like, 2D. They're very simple to understand. You don't need to... Again, like, they're fun to watch kind of thing. But let's see what we got here. These are all regular Score Bunnies. Although I'm just going to save, because we like saving 50 bajillion times here at Bovio Games. So, am I limited to Nintendo games? Yes, essentially. Or I'm limited to games on Nintendo, that are on, like, Nintendo Switch and maybe Wii U. And they have to be ones I have, because, like I said, I'm not in a position where I can just, like, go out and buy games. It's like, oh, I'll just go out and buy this one to stream. You know, it has to be something I have. So there's the Luigi's Mansion 3 playthrough. There's, like, things like the Donkey Kong games. Could do stuff like the original Metroid, a couple of the original Metroid games or something. Maybe build up to, like, Metroid Dread. There is also let's see. Just checking these Score Bunnies. Because we have to be vigilant here. Like, again, like, with all this snow. Actually, this snow is making it quite hard to actually, like, inspect these things properly. Like, the lighting on this Chimchar looks so weird. Like, that doesn't look like a Chimchar. It doesn't look shiny, but it also doesn't look like what I think. Like, that Chimchar ahead of us, right? That looks really dark, right? But then you go up close to it, and it's like, no, that's a regular Chimchar. Actually, this snow is really, really annoying. I will just say that. Let's see if we can get off this mountain. Let's see if Score Bunnies appear if we go lower down the mountain or something. We'll be going down the mountain, yes we will. We are not even 3 hours in, but I'm singing this song. Okay, let's go find some nice Score Bunnies, and then we'll go back up the mountain, and there's Score Bunny on the mountain, yes we will. Okay, so... Actually, I'm seeing way more Chimchars here than Score Bunnies, so maybe we will go back up the mountain. Okay, anyway, Bark. So, those were all things I thought of. But then I did think of something else, and I thought of something else and now this is what I'm leaning towards, and I do very much like this idea that I now have instead. So I was thinking of, I was kind of thinking of, like, oh, I wonder if there's anything on, like, the virtual console things that I can't remember what they call, but like the Switch Online virtual consoles that I could play or whatever kind of thing. But I did realize, but I thought of something, and I was thinking, oh, hang on, Kevin, the original Paper Mario, that is actually an option. I do have that on my Wii U, but like I do have the original Paper Mario. That is actually a possibility as well, actually, technically. And then like later on this year we could do the 1,000-Year Door. So no, Paper Mario is legit. That is something we could do. I don't know how long that game takes is the only problem. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to beat that by like the end of April or something like that, which is kind of the time frame we have here. That's why I'm kind of thinking maybe like some, you know, a few smaller projects could be better, because I can't really remember how long the original Paper Mario takes. It's also been a long time since I played it. So I don't really know how good or not I would be at playing it. But no, that is an interesting idea, actually. We will keep that in mind. But the thing that I was about to say that I had kind of thought of, that I do quite like the idea of now, and that I did get quite excited about, weirdly. On the Nintendo Switch, I have the remake of Link's Awakening. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which was a Game Boy game, and they remade it on Switch, and it has these cute little graphics and stuff like that. And I got it for like my birthday last year, and it was a fun little playthrough, and it's not like absolutely massive or whatever. The only problem is maybe it's too short. Maybe something like Paper Mario would be like the more appropriate length or whatever. But I was thinking like, ooh, Legend is, because the thing about Paper Mario is I'd have to get the Wii U out every week kind of thing, which is like just is a little bit annoying. How long do we have left? Okay, 12 minutes. Okay, so we're getting close to the Kevin prediction. We're like 10 minutes away from the Kevin prophecy being fulfilled. So yes. But I was thinking, yeah, the remake, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. Because it's a nice little, you know, something like Breath of the Wild is like, oh, that would take forever to play. But like Link's Awakening, that would be like a concise, neat little thing. You know, we could kind of just play it in like a few streams or whatever, and it'd be nice and fun and simple and straightforward, and it's quite cute, and again, like it's sort of basic but in a good way. So, oh, it's funny, Kramin has now. Oh, Kramin's listed the options. Oh, thank you. I thought you were like making suggestions, and I was like, those are all things I've said. And it's like, oh wait, that's what you're doing. You're listing the things I've said. So Kramin's just made like a list of some of the things I've talked about. Thank you so much, Kramin. So have a look through those, and like, which ones kind of appeal to you guys? What would you like to see? Are there any things where you're like, if you played that, I would not tune into you for the next like 2 months or whatever kind of thing? Let me know. But yeah. So like, let me know. But yeah. So those are like options. Those are the options, I guess. I can't remember if there was like some other thing I thought of, but basically the main ones I was kind of thinking was like, we could do the Luigi's Mansion 3 playthrough. We could do, this snow is getting really bad just because it's actually getting like all kind of blizzardy now, so like, you know, you actually like can't see the Pokemon in the distance. But yeah, but no, so Luigi's Mansion 3 was the first thing I thought of, but then I kind of started, I was like, ooh, I could probably have a lot of fun with like Link's Awakening, like that could be quite a fun one. And then, but then the Paper Mario suggestion is quite a good idea, actually. That is not a bad idea. I have to concede that to you, Kevin. I say that to you as if I like never conceded anything to you. It's like, but like I like you and think you're clever and funny and stuff. So it's like, what am I conceding? It's like, of course you came up with a good idea. Like you often and you frequently come up with good ideas. So again, I don't know what I meant by that. But the point is, I think it's one of those things where you say it, but it's like, yeah, but that doesn't actually apply here. But anyway, Bark. But no, so those are the three things I am kind of leaning towards. But maybe there could be, again, like some, like just 2D options. Like, oh, we could like play through these old Mario games, or like these Game Boy games, or these Super Nintendo games, or whatever. Like things like Donkey Kong and Metroid or whatever. Like we could just do like a Donkey Kong. We could do like all the Donkey Kongs and then like all the Metroids, like the Donkey Kong and Metroid double bonanza or something. I don't know. But yeah, those were what I was kind of thinking. Again, I can't remember if there's anything else I thought. If there is, maybe I'll like post something on Twitter. But again, you guys are the ones who are here watching right now. Like that's kind of like, I'll give you a quick random example of a thing that tangentially from this, whilst you let me know what games you were kind of interested in, or that you're like, no, I wouldn't really even want to watch you play that, or whatever kind of thing. Like, yes, please play that. Or whether you're like, yeah, I probably wouldn't like tune in for a few weeks, or whatever your answer is, let me know. But like, it's kind of when. So sometimes you get voice actors on Twitter, and I'm not trying to like trash my friends here or anything like that. That is not why I do this. Why I say this, okay? But sometimes there'll be voice actors, and they'll kind of list like which one of these characters of mine like should I get a print of next, or which one of these characters would you guys be interested in? And it's like a sort of like I get what you're getting at, and it's a valid thing, but I feel like the better question kind of would be like, are there any like basically the thing you kind of actually want to know is, are there any characters who I don't have prints of, or who you would like even more prints of, who you would be interested in seeing to like have an autograph of? Like, would you like to have an autograph for like this character or whatever? But I don't like do autographs associated with that character. It's like I don't have a print of them. How long do we have left? I'm just checking the Kevin countdown, we'll call it. But yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of like, it's very easy to kind of be like, which one of these should I do next kind of thing? And because even I can look at them and it can be like, oh, I played that game. I liked that character. But I'm not going to like buy that print from like one of my sort of friends or associates or whatever. Hang on a sec. You are, yeah. It's like, so I can sort of say like, oh, I like this character, but there's a difference between whether you like a character or whether you would like to see like someone tweet a post of a print they've just got or whatever, versus like how it's actually gonna do for that person. Because like getting a print means like you have to go and commission an artist, and you have to go and actually like print out a stack of these things, and you have to carry them around with you to conventions and all this other stuff, right? Like, and it's kind of like, are people, and for all that effort that it takes to ensure that happens, are people going to do that kind of thing? And so on the one hand, it's sort of so I could ask on Twitter, like, which of these games would you guys like to see me do next? But a load of people who, like, don't even watch my streams could vote in it. And it's you guys who are right here, right now. Like, you're free on Saturdays, and you like just putting me on, and maybe like having me in the background. Maybe you're, like, grossly engaged. Whatever it is. Whether I'm, like, multitasking for you guys or whatever. But, like, you guys are the ones who are here right now watching this. So it is, so if you have been talking in chat and stuff like that, I would love to hear like which of these options you are personally interested in, or if there's anything where oh, hang on, don't you have such and such game, or don't you have like you have Switch Online, couldn't you play blah blah blah? As long as you don't be like, play Genshin Impact. It's like, I've explained why I can't play Genshin Impact, like that. People famously know why I like haven't been able to play Genshin Impact, but so like, as long as you kind of know me well enough, or like, haven't you played so and so, or how about you play so and so online, or something like that, or well, not how about you play so and so, that's a little bit too pushy, but if you say something like but like sort of, are you able to play such and such, I would love to see you play that, you know. I don't really like doing first playthroughs on stream. Like, I like playing games that I'm already familiar with, because I don't want to just like suck or get stuck on something like on stream or whatever, like when I don't know what to do, because it just kind of slows things down. It's not very, the thing is, I don't really get a whole lot of entertainment watching people play things for the first time, unless it's like, say, like heavily edited or something, where it's kind of like, I played such and such for the first time and here's how it went, and it's like edited down so you're able to. But when you're watching someone like in a full way play through something and they just like suck at it, it's just like, I find that really stressful. So, you know, that's why I won't play games for a first time. But let's see how long's left. Okay, 4 minutes left. I'm going to check on chat. I'm going to see with what you guys say. So, Kramen, no particular preference for me, just as long as you enjoy what you play. And Archie says, I agree with Min. You like Min, and I hope you like Min too. But no, still hope you could Genshin Cloud. The thing about the... I do apologize, because I've been a bit quiet to you, Archie, about some of the Genshin Cloud stuff, but it's just one of those things that I'm not sure if my laptop could handle, like, cloud gaming and streaming at the same time. Like, I couldn't even do, like, a YouTube live signing stream on my laptop. Like, I had to do, like, Instagram live stream on my phone, because my laptop couldn't, like, handle streaming. So even if there is, like, cloud gaming options available, yes, I could... Because the thing about Genshin is, even though I just said I don't like playing games for the first time on stream, Genshin is my one exception to that, and it's actually the one game where it's like, I'm not playing Genshin unless I can play it on stream, because I want to have that be like a shared experience. You know, like Persona, it's like, I want that to just be my experience. And there are other games where maybe I could be like, I don't mind having this be like a shared... This could be like a fun shared experience. But Genshin's the one where it's like, no, I'm even if like a PlayStation 5, you know, like SpongeBob and Patrick being lost in the woods, we got to drop the load, a PlayStation 5 drops through my ceiling right now and somehow isn't smashed to bits. Like, even though it's like, oh, I could technically play Genshin Impact like on a high powered console, I'd still want to play it on stream and have that sort of as like a shared experience. So let's see. So let's see. Xander, you're cool with anything. Akira, you find first impression stuff to be funny. I just find it kind of stressful. Like if someone gets annoyed, or like if someone can't do something and I know what to do, and I'm like, this is obvious. For the love of Nelly, please just do the thing. I sometimes do get a bit like that. So, but yes. So let's see. So hang on, let's just see. Let's see. Oh, Feta, hi. Sorry, I completely missed you. I got really... Thing is, because this Score Bunny hunt has been so successful, I have been just very, like, absorbed into checking all these bunnies. So I'm so sorry I missed you, Feta. Hi, welcome. So, I mean, it seems like there's not a whole lot of preference here as for the streaming game. But again, if you do have any sort of, again, I don't want to be too insulting when I say this, but just like not too stupid suggestions. Again, it's just, I just say that when I say something like that, I don't mean to say that to be mean, but what I just mean is, a lot of you guys have watched me a lot and heard me talk a lot and stuff like that. So like, you kind of, you know my situation. You know I have a Switch. You know I can't just go out and buy games. I'm not going to buy like some random thing off like the eShop or whatever. I want it to be something that I'm like kind of familiar with. And I'm not saying like you guys should know my whole Switch library or whatever. But what I'm saying is like, I have a Switch Online account sort of thing as well. An active one at the minute. So, you know, so you can say something like, oh, well, I know you like Mario games, so why don't you play this Mario game that's on like Switch Online, or you know, like, so that's just what I mean, like, sort of. So I know you guys don't know everything about my life, but you do know, you probably do know enough about it to be able to kind of like be like, I don't know this for a fact, but what about this suggestion? And as long as you're kind of like courteous about it and stuff, and you're like, I don't know if you have this, or what if you went on the Switch Online, or is there any reason why you could perhaps not play such and such, you know, like stuff like that. So if you do have those suggestions, or if you do have preferences out of those like 4 options or whatever, I might still ask on Twitter anyway. But I'm interested. But the main thing I'm going to take in consideration is like what you guys, the ones who are here right now, are saying, because that's like the most important thing to me, you know. So I'm sorry that I turned some weird metaphor about prints into a thing about streaming. But there's just, I feel like some people sort of say, oh, what print should I get? And it's like, well, I don't think, you know, sort of, I think the better question is, would anyone actually be interested if you got that print? Like, hey, if I got a print of such and such, is that something where if you came to a con and you saw me, you would get one? Because that is like the most important thing, you know. If you're going to make that effort, you're going to make that time, you want to make sure that it's like, is this thing actually going to, you know, sort of kind of be worth the effort? I mean, hey, if you're in a position where like you can kind of commission artwork and it doesn't really matter whether it goes anywhere as a print or not, like that's cool. But just I'm personally not in that position, so that's why I kind of have that stance where like, if you know, like when I asked about my extra prints, when I was like, hey, like, you know, is there interest for like Bead Bashara? Hang on a sec, you look lighter. Is there any interest for like Bead Bashara and Kent? You know, and I got yeses. And again, have people been as interested in them as Chong Yoon? No, but there has been interest for them, and I'm sure, you know, if I do conventions ever sort of someday, like in-person appearances and stuff, then maybe. Oh, hang on, I've gone too... No, I've gone too low. I need to go back up the mountain. Oh, no, I'm messing up Kevin's prediction. I'm jeopardizing Kevin's prediction. We've got 53 seconds left. Yellow hearts and bunnies. Yellow hearts and bunnies. Chat. Emojis. Yellow hearts and bunnies. Yellow hearts and bunnies. White rabbits. Yellow hearts and white rabbits. You try and get the white rabbits rather than, like, the brown rabbits. Yeah, the bunnies. Let's see if the old Kevin prediction can come true. Oh, no. Will bunnies appear this way? Hang on. We'll go... Oh, we can go here. Haha. There we go. Haha. It is I, Grunty Boy. If you understood that reference, kudos. And then we'll talk about how I'm finding Persona 5 in a minute. Because I keep not talking about that. Look, there was like a whole group of 10 bunnies that just appeared. But we're running out of time. We're going to start seeing ice types everywhere soon. Oh, no. No. That's it. Okay, that's it. That's all. Very well. Okay. So, we'll just check if any of these Vulpixi are shiny. I don't know how to finish that sentence. Okay. Thank you for... Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on. Archie says... Hang on, because Archie put some stuff. Oh, something to do with Xenoblade. So that's an interesting question, because it's like, would you play Xenoblade on stream? Cliffo, hi, lovely to see you. Welcome. We're just talking about what game I'm going to be streaming next week. Yeah, what the heck, Kevin? Can't wield a Monado? What are you, some kind of regular person? But yes, no. No. But anyway, sorry. Anyway, Bark, sorry. No, Xenoblade's an interesting one. I think Xenoblade is totally a game that I could and, like, would love to stream someday, and hopefully, like, I will. Like, hopefully I could do, like, the 1, 2, 3 trilogy. But I wouldn't do them in, like, my current situation. slash setup where I stream like once a week on Saturdays. I think like someday I'd love to. Sorry, I've got hiccups. Someday I would love to be in some situation where, say, like, oh, if I like had my own place, and if I had my own place, and I streamed like multiple times a week, right? Because here's the thing. So here's the thing I would love someday, right? I would love to stream like 3 times a week. I would love to do like Genshin on like one day, right? This is like the ideal scenario, right? I'd love to do Genshin one week, some kind of like long or longish form Nintendo playthrough another day. And then we can have either like shorter playthroughs or, you know, things like raid den streams or shiny hunting streams, or, you know, more like one-offy, or you can hop on board with them at any point. It just really doesn't matter kind of games, right? On other streams, right? So that's sort of like the 3 types of streams I would like to do in a week. And so Xenoblade would be a really good, like, okay, here's my, you know, it's like, okay, so like Saturday we're going to do some like shiny hunting, or we're going to do like Dynamax adventures and Pokemon Sword, and then we're going to do like Genshin like midweek, and then like, you know, and then like on Sunday we'll carry on with Xenoblade Chronicles. That's the kind of, if that makes sense, if that distinction makes sense, that's the kind of game I'd like Xenoblade to be. But I wouldn't want Xenoblade to be like the only game I'm playing, because it would take me like, I don't know, like half a year to stream it or whatever. And so I wouldn't want that to be like the dominating. There are some games where it's like, hey, if this becomes all I do for the next 6 months, okay, I'm cool with that. But Xenoblade's one where it's like, I don't want Xenoblade to just be like the only identity for my streams kind of thing. If that makes sense. So yeah, so that's kind of what I aspire to someday, and so Xenoblade would definitely fit into that. Once I can do like 2 or 3 streams in a week, I would love Xenoblade to be like an ongoing thing. But I wouldn't want Xenoblade to be like the only thing I do. Again, there are some like bigger games where it's like, if that took me like half a year, I wouldn't care if like just that was like all I did on Saturdays for half a year. But you know, but Xenoblade is one where it's like, it's like a little bit more niche, and I don't know, like I'd want that to be like an extra thing. Like, here's an extra thing, or here's if you like you can't get enough of Beau, you know, which is a weird sentence to say out loud, but you know what I mean. Yeah, they're saying playing once a week would last a long time, and when it's like if it was the only thing you were doing. Because again, the other thing you could do as well is you could have, say, like Genshin, and then it's like, okay, instead of like a, you know, goofy one-off stream, we're actually going to do like extra Xenoblade this week or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You could speed it up. So I'm saving far too many times here. But that's because we are now on our final starter. This is by no means the like end of the stream. This is by no means the like end of the stream. If we get these Grookey's, don't worry. There are other shiny Pokemon I can get, but like but this is the last of the things that we, and look, I've used my last salty Herba Mystica. That's why I saved so many times. But look, I've only got 6 picks left. That is how that is like how many shiny hunts I've done, and how it's like, look, I could like restock up on things and whatever, and do, you know, do a bunch of raids to get more Herba Mystica. But like, again, I don't want to. You know, I want to play Persona. I want to move on to other things. And again, we're not going to be getting new Pokemon games for like a year and a half at the earliest anyway. At least in terms of a new generation, I mean. We're not going to be getting a new generation for a year and a half, so these like shinies that I have left over, you know, I've got a year and a half to hunt for them all. So if I like get the Pokemon itch, I can do more raid hunting another time, but I don't want to cram in a bunch of like raid hunts whilst I've got things like Persona to play and everything else. So, Beau, you've saved 10 times, you're good. It's not enough, Kevin. It's not enough. You need to 11. I should have saved 11. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I definitely had saved way too many times there. I got like stuck in a loop there where I was just kind of busy talking about what I was talking about. And okay, so chat prediction: will we actually get a shiny Grookey, or will we just get Blossom? If we get Blossom, that really will suck. I'm just gonna say it right here, right now, because we already got 2 of them on stream. That's in addition to the 1 Blossom I already had, so I have 3 shiny Blossom. And I do apologize if you're like, why don't you get on Koraidon? If you get on Koraidon, you actually spawn more Blossom. So yeah, if you get on Koraidon, you actually end up spawning more Blossom. So it's actually better to just run around, unfortunately. So okay. So we just have to do a bit of a sneaky zigzag. A bit to the right, a bit to the left, a bit to the right. I thought that Blossom was a shiny Grookey for a sec there, because see that sort of yellow on it? That sort of lighter yellow kind of... Because a shiny Grookey is like a light... It's like a lighter color. It's like a very sort of... I would say it's a very greeny yellow, rather than like a yellowy green. But yeah. I'm gonna look at how long Paper Mario... I'm gonna look up like how long the how long to beat website says Paper Mario takes to beat. And then I'm gonna look it up for like... Link's Awakening as well, and I'm gonna see how long the 2 of them take to beat, and then because maybe we might do Paper Mario. The only thing is, like I said, I would need to like get the Wii U out every week, which is like it's a little bit of a pain. But oh no, little monkey. Oh, hang on, I need to get my Grookey on my lap. Hang on, get my Grookey. Come sit on my lap. There we go. We got the Grookey. Kevin predicts 10 minutes to spare. That's what I predict. I think I will get one this time. So I did a shiny hunt for a Grookey like off screen, like weeks ago, before I did one on screen, right? And I got a shiny Grookey, and I was like, oh nice, because I was like, I needed Grookey, I needed Blossom, and I got like 1 of each. And then I was like, I'll see if I can get like the other 2, you know, on stream, and then I proceeded to get 2 more Blossom, which sucked. But I do think today, this is like our 3rd time on stream. We've tried 2 other times to try and get a shiny Grookey, and it's just like not worked out. But I do think that we will get a Grookey this time. The question is whether we get 2 Grookeys or not. That is the question. I should have moved my Grookey from my game from my Pokemon home into the game actually, so that I knew which one to evolve, but oh well, doesn't matter. But we'll have to see. Hopefully I can spot this as well. Again, it should be lighter. I'm actually hoping because it's nighttime that because it's lighter it will be that little bit easier to spot, but again, we're getting a lot of Blossoms as well, so this could be a little touch and go. Paper Mario, hang on, 23 hours is the average Paper Mario, 15 to 20 for Link's Awakening. So I know, why did Blossom hover in the air? I know, they've always kind of done that since like Pokemon Stadium 2. They've always like just hovered a little bit. And yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird. If they were like Grass Psychic, it would make sense, but hang on, let's see. Don't want to cram in, Crammon says. No, exactly. Matthew Betley. Sorry, hi. I saw your joke, but I did not see your name at all. So I was like, wait, that's a person I haven't said hi to. Hi, welcome. I like that suggestion, by the way. Like Vulpesies, but you spell it with a C, so it's like Vulp Ices. I like that. Very clever. Just multi-layered name there. I like that. But yeah. Not mainline Pokemon games. That's the thing, because we will get some like more Pokemon games in like the next year and a half. Maybe we'll get some kind of remake or spin-off or whatever. I mean, again, here's the thing though. These games still feel pretty new to me, right? Like we've just had the DLC. Like we've literally just had story content for this game. Story content a month ago. right? Like, granted, it's like the final bit of story content, but we just had story content for this game a month ago, right? So this game still feels like new to me in that regard, you know? And like this isn't like saying like, oh, Smash Bros had you know, like new spirits put in the game just like last week or whatever. It's like, no, that like Smash Bros feels old. It's like a few years old. It feels old. But like this game still feels new, right? Like I only just feel like now, to be honest, like that we're ready for like a new game after Sword and Shield. But we've just had the final bit of story content for the next game. Like I think they could have kept going with Sword and Shield. I actually think they've probably like slowed down the sales of Sword and Shield by like releasing these games. But you know, but again, they do their thing. Again, they like their 3-year thing where they do something every 3 years. But I wish they didn't do that. I wish they did 4 years. Like video games are tough to make. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of labor. It's kind of like when people say like, oh, I wish like the Pokemon games had voice acting in, like I sort of try to warn people that be careful what you wish for, because it wouldn't, like, I know how video games are recorded. I know the different ways that video games are recorded, and that kind of depending on the game and the producer and like what kind of deadline and budget they have, that can very much affect how you record the voiceover for your game. And you know, of the different ways to record voiceover for your game, some are good and some are not. Some are sort of more reliably good, and some are less reliably good. Like, as in, so it's like if you record a game in like way A, it will usually be good like most of the time. If you record your game in like way C or way B and C, those are less reliable methods. You can still get good performances if you're lucky, but you're kind of playing with fire by doing that kind of thing. And you know, you could get people being like, oh, the voiceover in this game sounds terrible, and it's like, well, yeah, because you did method B and C, but the reason you did method B and C happen is because of like budget and deadline and people getting crunched and stuff like that. So so it's one of those things where it's like these games are already like 3 years, like every 3 years is, you know, with the amount of bugs and lag and sort of glitches and stuff in this game is so much fun, and I like it, and I think it's good, but like I'm not gonna try and hide the fact that like it does show its flaws quite a bit. And again, that like I can't help but feel that maybe there wouldn't have been as many of them if, say, they'd gone on a 4-year schedule instead of a 3-year schedule. So, you know, if you do that, again, like more like, obviously there is such a thing as like too much time in terms of releasing a video game. I understand that. You know, there is an element of striking while the iron's hot or not letting people get bored and complacent. But I don't really think that's an issue for Pokemon. I don't think people would really mind for Pokemon if there was a game every 4 years instead of 3, like a whole new generation with like a whole new game mechanic and a whole new whatever, you know. Particularly now that we do have things like DLC, you know, like you can just kind of add to the game. You know, I don't really see the issue in like adding on a year, but yeah, but I say about the voice acting, because it's like people say like, oh, we want voice acting in Pokemon games, and I'm like, yeah, but with these like 3-year schedules and stuff like that, if it came out and it like wasn't good, you can come back to this stream and be like, Beau Bridgeland told us about this in like the beginning of 2024, you know. If there is a Pokemon, like a mainline series Pokemon game that comes out and it has voice acting, but like the voice acting kind of like is a bit weird, like it doesn't really match the visuals on the screen and stuff like that, like if it kind of gets like lambasted a bit for reasons like that, you can go back to this stream and you can be like, yeah, Beau Bridgeland tried to, you know, sort of warn us about this kind of thing, like, because he knows about video games. I don't have any kind of inside information or anything. I want to make that clear. This is just me being like, as a voice actor, as a person who knows how video games are recorded, and it's like, if you know, if like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the Pokemon game you get when you're trying to be ambitious and you've only got 3 years to do it, like adding on like voiceover in like multiple languages that isn't gonna make your sort of already super crunched up game better. You know, like I would rather focus on just getting everything being nice and smooth and adding in a few more fun gameplay elements and stuff like that. And then once you've got all that down, once you've got Pokemon games that are like they're running nicely and they got like some good fun mechanics and new twists on things, you know, and maybe add that 4th year into the development instead of just 3. Once you're at that point, that's when you add the voice acting. But you know, but I think, you know, some people like adding voice acting into this game. If you could add perfect voice acting into this game, would it help it? Yeah, it would, of course. But there's a difference between adding in like perfect voice acting and adding in like the reality of like adding voice acting into this game's production would have been really, really hard. And so, you know, just for the people who complain that this game doesn't have voice acting, it's like you can see how, like, I don't know, just kind of like how much they tried to do and how much of it they weren't able to do. And it's like adding voice acting into that mix, just that would have been a difficult thing, and it would have just put a lot of pressure on a lot of people who are already working like so hard and don't need more on their plates. So again, yeah, do I want a load of, like, do I want loads of brilliant voice acting in mainline series Pokemon games? Yes, absolutely. Do I just want voice acting in mainline series Pokemon games, knowing the realities of what that takes and what that could cost, kind of thing? And when I say what that could cost, I don't just mean like I don't mean monetarily. I just mean, you know, like functionally speaking, and like developmentally speaking. No. Like I am, you know, there are games where it's kind of nice, but you know, but like when I like, you know, but there are some games where, you know, they're big and they're ambitious. They don't necessarily have a whole lot of voice acting, but they're still really good. You know, like look at like Ocarina of Time. If they like remake Ocarina of Time, I don't need it to like have voice acting, you know, or something like that. If they like take the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time and then like HD it up even more so it can be released on like Switch or Switch 2 or whatever, which is totally something I think and hope they do. If they do that, they don't need to like add voiceover to that though. You know, kind of keep some of that original N64 experience in there, and that's fine. Well, I said I wasn't going to ride Koraidon, and I'm riding Koraidon. Stop it, Beau. Stop it. It's like we're getting loads of blossoms. Look at all these blossoms. So many blossoms. Too many blossoms. But yeah. So let me just check chat for a sec, because I kind of went off on one there, and I haven't checked chat for a bit. So let me just check. Hang on. I believe in you, Beau. You'll get 2 Grookey's. And then, sorry, because I saw Kale's comment, and then that's kind of why we kind of got talking about the generation. Pokemon Day is only 10 days away. It'll be interesting to see what we get. But again, we are on that sort of in-betweeny year, so I don't know. I'm not expecting stuff. Smash finally just did their last amiibo. Yep, exactly. So let's see. I hope we don't get the remake for Black and White, because we only just got the remake for Diamond and Pearl, and it's like, let's just have more time. Again, just more time. We just need more time. Like, it's okay to take time with things. With each generation of Pokemon we have, the less need there is for a remake. Like, it's easy to look at, like, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green and be like, oh, there was only, like, 6 years difference between, like, Red and Blue in the West and Fire Red and Leaf Green in the West. And it's like, yeah, it was only 6 years, but, like, that upgrade was huge. Like, and it was needed. Whereas, like, Black and White, there's not a whole load of reason to re-release that other than to sort of allow people to re-experience Black and White again. Which, you know, is that a nice idea? Yes, but like I would rather wait for that though. I would rather wait and have a really good experience than like have it sooner and have a rushed one. Like those games are like over a decade old. I'd love to play them again, but not at the expense of them, you know, being crammed in anywhere. Sorry to keep saying cram in and cramming in and stuff like that. I do apologize, but like it's just it's my word of the day. So anyway, Bog. So let's see. But let's see. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Hang on, I'm just checking comments because there's lots of stuff. Kevin, but Beau, unless you're in the cast, how can a game have perfect voice acting? That's very kind. And unfortunately, I do have I like to think I don't really have much of an ego, but I clearly have enough of an ego to read that out loud. But I'm acknowledging it's a joke though. So again, that's why I'm like, right, okay. So those are my thoughts about making games and taking your time and not rushing them. And because the one thing about Black and White, one thing that annoys me again, I do apologize for those who are a bit newer to these streams and stuff like that. I am a very mixed guy on Pokemon Legends Arceus. I know, I'm sorry, everyone loves that game. Oh, good golly gosh. But like I am decidedly more mixed on it. And part of the reason why is just people go so overboard in praising it that I feel like I have to be like the counterbalance to the universe too. Because my thing about those games is that were they sort of fun and good and had some cool things in them? Yes. Were they very flawed games? Yes. And no one ever seems to acknowledge that they're flawed. Like, if I see people talk about Tears of the Kingdom, they'll say Tears of the Kingdom is a phenomenal game. It does have all these flaws, like the bosses are like kind of okay, and this thing's kind of weird, and like going through menus is tedious and stuff when you're trying to like fuse a particular item. They'll like go through all the flaws of the game. Like Tears of the Kingdom is an incredibly flawed game, and I've seen a bunch of reviews where people sort of say like how flawed it is, but it's just so good and so fun and so amazing that all the good things do outweigh the bad and kind of just dwarf it. Whereas with Arceus, oh, hang on, no, that's a Blossom. Dang it. But with Arceus, I never hear anyone talk about the bad things. They're just like, oh, this game's amazing, and it's like, hold on, it's good. I can even say very good if you like, but it's got lots and lots of, and no one ever talks about the flaws. And it just drives me up the wall. And everyone's like, oh, all games should be like Arceus. And it's like, the battling in Arceus is not better than the battling in regular games. Like, let's just calm down. Let's calm down. Let's eat some bread and have a nap. And then we can wake up and we can talk about it later, kind of thing. Like, that's my... but anyway, sorry, I won't go off on my full Arceus thing right now, but just, so Arceus had some really cool things and things that, I hope they implement in the regular games, a whole bunch of which are in this game, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, for goodness sake, but anyway, bark, but the reason I say that is, I get annoyed when people say, I've seen people say things like, I don't want, a remake of Pokemon Black and White, I just want them to do, Legends Kyurem or something, and it's like, and I sort of am like, no, sorry, and the reason I say that is because the thing about Black and White, and I've said this a bunch of times, so I do apologize to those of you who are like, oh, Beau, you've said this 4 or 5 times before, but the thing about Pokemon Black and White, right, came out a year before the Nintendo 3DS, and again, for some reason, they did their whole, we're going to make a game every 3 years thing. That's when it begun with Pokemon Black and White. I don't know why they did it with Pokemon Black and White. Oh, I can see a shiny Blossom. That's a shiny Blossom. And this is my final grass sandwich that I could make with the salty hut. I mean, I can make grass sandwiches with... sweet ingredients, but with the burger sandwich, but it's so much more awkward. I wanted to do this with the salty sour sandwich, and now I've got my 4th Blossom, and still no more Grookeys, even though I've got Grookey on my lap. Little Grookey on my lap. Work your magic. Come on. Oh, that game audio's looping as well. Oh, can I catch a break? No, okay. Okay. But that's very cool. That's very cool. There we go. That should be working now. Right, okay, Poplio. Hopefully that should all be good now. So that is, I think that's maybe one of the rare times where I haven't like been excited for it, because usually I'm kind of like, hey, it's a thing, like, hey, it's a Blossom, but it's just one of those things where like, okay, we've caught enough Blossom now though. Like, I really do want the Grookey's, because that was my last like safe grass sandwich. I really wanted to like just make like a grass sandwich. Oh, hang on, those two look different. See, those two Grookey's look different, but it's because one's from the side and one's from the back. And oh, whatever. Okay, so we got a Blossom. That's something. But can we get the Grookey? How long do we have left? 13 minutes. Okay, so our sort of about 20 minutes prediction is still on the table. We can still get... Sorry, I'm kicking my microphone. We can still get... Oh, for the love of Nelly, I didn't mean to run into that. Matthew Betley, but Beau, what kind of burger? Good question. No, so it will be it'll be a very sort of thrifty burger shop burger, where instead of like a second patty, they just give you loads of lettuce, because it will be a very lettuce heavy burger. So it'll be a fun burger to make, but it'll be a fun burger to make for sure. But as a consumer, you would be disappointed by like how much lettuce is in there, because you'd be like, look, I like lettuce on a burger, but this is a bit much. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, good question and a very good reference. Very good reference. But okay, so new challenge idea. Can Beau beat Pokemon Scarlet with his team of 6 shiny Blossoms? No, please don't even joke, because that means we have to get 2 more. No. Okay. Matthew Betley, I feel like depending on the circle, I only hear most praising or scathing of Arceus. That's it. I have not heard scathing of Arceus. I feel like I'm like the most negative person for Arceus that I know. And I don't hate it. Please don't get that wrong. There are good things about it. But I just get so annoyed because it's like, I hear all these like Nintendo fans who just talk about it as if it's like one of the best games on the Switch. This is like, it's like real, like, hold on. You're saying it's better than like this, or like this, or this, or, you know, like, let's go through them, or like, or this, or where was Tears of the Kingdom, or this, or like these, or this, or this, or, you know, or this, or this, or this. Like, or this, like, no, it's not better than any, like, all of those. Like, it's just not. Like, I'm sorry. It's oh, for the love of Nelly. Sorry, I got too excited. It's just, it's not. This console has so many good games on it that are like just absolutely phenomenal, and Arceus just is not one of them. It's good, but it's not. It's not up there with like, you know, Mario Odyssey and Mario 3D World and Metroid Dread and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, no, I'm sorry. It's just not. But no one seems to like talk about the negatives of it. So that's interesting. You found people who give it scathing reviews, because that is quite interesting. But I feel like I'm the most negative person, because I've like never heard anyone. Because if people like talked about the downsides of it, it'd be fine. But I never hear anyone talk about the downsides of it. There's like, and again, one of the ones I always like immediately go to, I think this is a really easy one. I think for a game that whose main gimmick, right, whose main hook is like catching Pokemon, where you can like catch 10 Pokemon in 10 seconds, right? You know, you can't do that in this game, but you can catch like 10 Pokemon in 10 seconds. It has a horrendous storage system. You can only go to the storage system if you walk up to like a specific guy. Like a specific part of the map kind of thing. Like, you can't just access your Pokemon anywhere and everywhere. You have like less storage space than like in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Like, you get more storage in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl than Legends Arceus. Does Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have a larger Pokedex to deal with? Like, once you get the National Dex, yeah, it does. But, like, you can't catch 10 Pokemon in 10 seconds. And catching Pokemon isn't the point of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And its base Pokedex is smaller than Legends Arceus is. Like, so the fact that this game, like, has a horrendous, like, storage and sorting system. It's like, oh, catch, like, 25 Starly. It's like, but you only have, like, a couple of hundred Pokemon in storage or whatever. You know, like, what? No, what? That it just you only get like 30 boxes though or whatever. Like what? Like that's terrible game design. I'm sorry. That just is. So yeah, hang on. How long have we got left? 9 minutes. Okay, Kevin, we're in the end game now. We're at the prophesized point. We're gonna check up here and just see if we see any like more yellowy, you know. But that's not good. And yeah, and then another thing actually, just comparing it to like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, a thing that was really annoying is I liked that Arceus, like, I liked that it sort of quote unquote had a lot of things to do. So I liked that like you could, like, you know, you could sort of you could like catch some Pokemon, or you could like break a rock to get an item, or to, you know, or to attack a Pokemon that's like, oh, there's a Pokemon in that tree, I'm gonna attack that tree. But the thing about, hang on, so you looked really weird in the light there, and I just don't trust my eyes anymore. But the thing is, and so in that ways, it's kind of like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, oh, there's a shrine, and oh, there's a dungeon, and oh, there's an item I can knock out of a tree, and all this stuff. And on the surface level of things, it looks kind of, you know, it's like, oh, that's kind of similar. That's cool. But in Tears of the Kingdom, it's like you're actually like doing a different thing physically. Like you're pressing different buttons and doing different actions. It's like, for one thing, you're firing an arrow, or for another thing, you're hitting a thing, or for another thing, you're climbing a thing. In Legends Arceus, you're just constantly pressing like ZR, like ZR to throw my Pokemon, ZR to throw my Pokemon out of a Pokeball, ZR to press my... And so it's kind of just like this weird repetitive thing that is like not good for your fingers, by the way. Like Arceus gave my hands a lot of hand pain. It really messed up my hands. Yeah. So don't trust you, you're fake Monado boy. No, you got the Monado since then. So, you would say Arceus is better than Shining Pearl. Yes. That's the thing. Oh, definitely. Oh, most... And again. So again, please don't take me... I know I'm like listing off a load of negative things. I'm so sorry. I promise you I don't hate this game. It's just I've never heard anyone else talk about these things that are like so obvious and glaring you in the face. It'd be like if you... I feel like it'd be like if I had a conversation with a group of people and none of them had ever heard what the sun was. Like, what are you talking about? It's that big orange thing in the sky that gives us light and warmth. What are you talking about? Like, I've never heard anyone talk about these things that are, like, obvious. Like, I mean, and one thing but yeah, like, Arceus is definitely, like, a better and more well put together game than Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, definitely. I'm not trying to concede that. But the fact that, but if there's anything that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are doing better than Legends Arceus, that's when you kind of know, like, okay, this isn't like a perfect game. Like, if a game that's as flawed as like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is doing things better than this game that people are calling like one of the best on the Switch, you know, it's like, okay, it's in reality, maybe there's actually a bit more of like there are more shades of grey there than just like, it's amazing. It's like, no, it's more complex than that. And that's all I want people to say. There's just like, it's complex. Like, there are things about it that are good, and there are things about it that are not so good. And that's all I want people to say, but no one says it, and it just annoys me. So, I said I wasn't going to talk about Arceus, and then now I've spent the whole of this Grookey sandwich talking about it. And I haven't even talked about Persona 5 yet. Right, come on. I don't want to spend the rest of this stream hunting for Grookeys, but we might have to. Okay, so let's just check chat for 1 second. But every game has flaws, nothing wrong pointing out. Charlie, hi! Long time no see, I feel like. You do get that feeling of annoying if everyone, overly liking one thing blindly. That's all I mean. It's just... And the thing about the Arceus thing, it was from people who... I would hear people who like say it's really good, and people who don't really like Pokemon very much. And it's like, well, maybe you like it a lot because it's because you just don't really like Pokemon. And it's fine if you don't like Pokemon, but don't talk about Pokemon as if like there's something wrong with it when maybe just the issue is it's just not your cup of tea. You know, that's kind of your thing. If something's just not your flavor, it's just not your cup of tea, that's fine. But don't make it the game's fault if you don't like something. And that was kind of my problem with Arceus as well. A lot of the people who seem to complain about Pokemon, I feel like maybe they just don't like Pokemon as opposed to Pokemon's doing something bad. Because I sort of said last week about the sales figures, and I was like, look, if these games are so bad, why are they getting record sales? And you couldn't go on Twitter for like 2 weeks in like November 2022 without seeing how glitchy and buggy these games were. And they've now, and like a year later, they're like the third best selling in the series. Like, clearly people like them, you know? So, yeah. So let's see. Jelly Ducky, hi, welcome. No problem at all. I hope your cousin had a good basketball game. And Jelly Ducky, if it's your birthday, which it is tomorrow, happy birthday. I hope you have a brilliant birthday. But anyway, Buck. So hang on, I just do need to catch up on chat for a sec because I feel like I have missed. I actually feel like I missed some chat in all my Arceus rantings here. So hold on, let me just bring up Grookey and let me come on, scroll up, chat, scroll up. There we go. But let's see. Sword and Shield is visually nicer than Arceus, but the fanboys would say otherwise. Yeah, Tenchi, like, you're right. That's the thing. Like, it is. Okay, fine. The trees in Sword and Shield suck. Are you happy? Like, Michael David, hi, welcome. But like, I'll give that to you. But like, it's got a nice aesthetic. Like, everything's got like a nice brightness to it. Like, the Pokemon don't all turn into like polygons when you step 2 steps away from them. Like, the frame rate is nice. I mean, it's a bit weird sometimes when you start battles, like when you start trainer battles in Sword and Shield. I don't really know what that's about. But otherwise, you know, like, you go into your hometown, you go to Postwick, and there's a Butterfree flying around in the background, and it's flying around at a good frame rate. And in this game, it's like, you know, you look at, you know, some of these things moving around, and they're just moving at like 2 or 3 frames a year or whatever. No, that's an exaggeration, but yeah, you know. But it's this weird thing. Goblin Thing, hi, welcome. Oh my gosh, loads of friendly, familiar faces are all joining suddenly. This is wonderful. People who have just joined, please click like and subscribe and all. I mean, you're already subscribed, I know you are, but please hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. Do it. Because I do apologize because we got a load of shinies earlier. We had very good shiny luck earlier, but something about hunting for Grookey on stream just doesn't seem to work. We're now in the final 4 minutes, so we're getting to our score bunny prediction now. This was our score bunny prediction, that we would get a score bunny in the last few minutes, and then ironically we got it right away. But yeah, let's see. Come on, Grookey. The light is a bit awkward as well, I will admit. There is just something about the lighting where it's a bit awkward here. I don't know why. But like, that Grookey looks really dark. And I know that like shiny Grookey is lighter, but I then fear that if I see a regular looking Grookey, that it could be shiny, because if the regular Grookeys are dark, maybe the light shiny Grookeys look regular. Who knows? Okay. No, blossoms. More, oh, Grookey. No. Get rid of these blossoms. We don't want blossoms. Kevin, you like Arceus's art style more? I mean, look, I do agree. Like, I will say, for like the most part, I do kind of like the Sword and Shield has the what I would call like sort of felt character look, by which I mean if you watch like an old stop motion TV show where they use like characters that are kind of like made with felt and stuff like that, they don't have like eyes that like sink into the character's head or whatever. It's like, you know, it's like another piece of felt put onto the model. Their eyebrows are kind of like a piece of felt put onto the model. Like their nose is, you know, like a lot of like say like their features are kind of just like flat things that are like pasted on kind of thing, rather than like physical objects that kind of like stand out or go in kind of thing. So i.e. you're putting a 2D thing onto a 3D thing. But like, yeah, with like this game and with Arceus, it tries to do more of like like everything is like fully 3D. You know, like things kind of. Oh, you're not shiny, are you? No. Like so they, you know, like things like eyes do kind of sink in or bulge out, and that's really cool, and I do like that, and that is better than Sword and Shield. But I do like the lighting and coloring more on Sword and Shield. So if you kind of had like that sort of the bit more detail to the models, that bit of extra like depth and sort of 3D-ness to them, but with like but with the Sword and Shield lighting and coloring, I would just prefer that like so much. I do need to hydrate in a minute, but we'll wait until the end of this sandwich because we're getting close now. In a second, we're going to stop seeing Grookey's everywhere and then go catch like 2 more Blossoms. I'm sure of it. Come on, shiny. Green hearts and monkeys. Green and yellow hearts and monkeys, because we've only got 30 seconds left. Quick chat, quick chat, quick chat. But, okay, hang on. Hang on, you're not shiny, are you? I can't see the colors, like, because these things look dark. Like, for some reason, that Grookey almost looks like it's, like, in shadow. And I know there are, like, clouds overhead or whatever, but I don't really know what, like, the lighting solution is for these games kind of thing. Because obviously you want to have things like shadows, but the lighting just changes the color of these Pokemon way too much. And in a game where, like, being able to look at the color of the Pokemon is, like, an important aspect of the game and the gameplay, that's not ideal. I think that's it now. We've got Trumbeak and Esper and whatever, so oh well. Okay. Well, we're not gonna end this stream until we get at least one Grookey. Well, I say that, and then who knows? But yeah. Oh, you just got a Genshin ad? Oh, that's fun. Oh, Jelly Ducky, you didn't know about Bead? Yeah. Yeah, no, that was really fun. Okay. Charlie, who plays Pokemon and thinks, what is the quality of the trees? But fair enough. I know, like, again, it's just one of those things where, like, I don't know. People don't play Pokemon for, like, the graphics and the stories and stuff. It's just one of those. I had a conversation with a friend a while ago, and it was sort of a, I don't know, like, it was just a bit of a weird thing, because they were trying to say that, like, Gold and Silver had a good story, and I kind of, I know, like, you know, like, your opinions are your opinions and whatever, but, like, at the same time, I can't help but, I don't like talking about opinions as if they're, like, objective facts, but I do feel like an objective fact is that Pokemon Gold and Silver really, really almost has no story. I can't... What story? It like, you can say, like, oh, it takes place 3 years after Red and Blue, a game that also famously has so much story. I should have put the lettuce on at the end. I messed up. Whoops. But you gotta, but like, it's like, oh, well, Team Rocket are back, and they're trying to get Giovanni back. Okay, to do what? Who knows? I don't know. Like that, like, there's just not really. This sandwich has worked out remarkably well. It's gonna mess up because it's all gonna jiggle around when I drop this bread. It worked! Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. That is my best sandwich. That is my finest sandwich ever. Look at that. Oh, I'm taking screenshots. Oh my gosh. But like, yeah, JP. Thank you, JP. Gold Silver had a story. Right? Like, wasted potential is how I describe the story for GS, Matthew Bentley says. Right? Like, I just, like, there are, like, I get that different people want different things in different games. There are some games where I do want, I do want more story, you know? Like, I do want more from the story. And that, but Pokemon kind of, I don't know, like, I do want there to be story, and when you get good story in Pokemon, it's like, huh, this is nice. But, like, it's not why I play the games. Like, I don't care if a Pokemon game has a good story if it doesn't have a good batch of new Pokemon, good abilities, good new moves, add in a new type, maybe, Pokemon Company, you know, and whatever else. Do you know what I mean? Like, those things are the things that matter to like, the game. Like, again, I like all the numbers and the statistics and, you know, these fun little creatures and, like, that, you know, these fun designs and fun names and stuff like that. Like, that's what I like about Pokemon, and I feel like that's what most people like about Pokemon. Like, they like the Pokemon, like the actual animals kind of thing, and then they, you know, and they like all those, you know, they like all the numbers and moves and battling gym leaders and stuff like that. And that doesn't mean you can't have other things in addition to battling. Please do. You know, again, Arceus had a good catching system. I don't think it should be the way that you catch every single Pokemon, because otherwise, like, legendary Pokemon would be weird and annoying. Like, but you know, I think that there's like something a bit more hybrid in there, or a bit more Arceus-y in terms of the catching, that would be really fun to add to the mainline games. But again, Arceus's control scheme was very convoluted, and I don't think one of the brilliant things about base Pokemon games is they're very simple. You know, they're very just kind of like joystick and A button, and that is part of the appeal of them. That is why people like them. You know, people can play Pokemon whilst watching television or doing other things. Like, that is part of the charm of Pokemon. Arceus is not really a game where you can do that as much, or as such, or at all. So again, it's a very different vibe. So, you know, but again, people kind of, again, these are people who kind of like, in some ways, they're kind of missing the point of Pokemon when they sort of say, you know, again, it comes to that thing where it's like, maybe you just don't like Pokemon kind of thing, and that's okay. Like, if you don't like turn-based RPG strategy, that's cool, that's fine. But again, don't make it seem like that's the problem, because it's not. Again, this game has sold phenomenally well, despite all the negative stuff that was out there about it. Like, so clearly people like, you know, they like that core Pokemon experience. But anyway, so I'm kind of going around in a loop now. But Gold and Silver having a story. And yeah, the person said it like had a good story, like one of the best stories. And I kind of had to be like, I know that this is technically an opinion, but I feel like an objective fact is that Gold and Silver has almost no story. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. Like, what again, like, there's a bit of Team Rocket stuff in the middle of the game. That's like it's cool that Red is at the end of the game. I wouldn't really call that story. Like, it's a cool throwback. It's really cool having like, oh, the protagonist of the previous game is kind of like a secret final boss, but that's not story, because that's kind of the thing where it's like, what has Red been doing? Why was he on top of Mount Silver? Like, you don't know that. No one knows that, because again, like that's not story. It's kind of just like a gameplay thing. And to be honest, I am sorry to say this, as cool as the battle with Red is, it's actually like not that, at least in terms of Gold and Silver, it's actually not that great. Like, the movesets aren't that great, and it's a bit like, I don't really know why he has like Espeon, and is that shiny Grookey? Shiny Grookey! We finally got one. Good golly gosh. Good golly gosh. Okay, hang on, we'll sneak up on it. See, they got this from Arceus, they're sneaking up. We caught it off guard. Okay, we actually didn't catch it off guard because we didn't sneak up on it properly, but the sneak up feature from Arceus is in this game. I just didn't do it properly. If you want a good Gold and Silver story, read the manga. Right, there we go. So oh crud, no wait, I messed that up. Oh crud. I messed that up for the screenshot and the thumbnail and the posting on Twitter afterwards that I had a good stream. This has been a fun stream. Please like and subscribe. Good golly gosh, I forgot to say like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Okay, so, but yeah, but like Gold and Silver, but like, you know, so Red is a fun battle. I do feel like part of that is just, you know, obviously it's a nice throwback. I do feel like part of it is just that he's high leveled. Like, he's not really actually like good. He's just high leveled. Which again, I'm sorry to like throw that shade, but I do think, like, again, his Pikachu, if you have like a level 60 that can like use Earthquake, his Pikachu goes down in one hit. And even when it like uses Charm, it still goes down in one hit. Yeah, like they're actually not in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's different. Like in Heart Gold Soul Silver, Red is excellent. But in the original Gold and Silver, Red's like okay in terms of an actual battle kind of thing. I do think that there are better battles in other games. I would say something like, even say like post game Emerald Steven Stone is a more interesting battle as far as like a battle goes, as far as like a gameplay experience goes, than say than Red in Gold. So this is very confusing because I'm talking about the character Red in the game Gold, but whilst also talking about the game Emerald. But you know what I mean. So you know, there are just things where if we do get another Grookey, I actually know what we'll do with the rest of our time. Because I only need 2 of them. Because I actually already had a shiny Grookey, as I said. So I am now riding around on Koraidon, but honestly, it's working pretty well. So, but yeah, but like Gold and Silver. But just, yeah, so I wouldn't say Red being at the end of the game is like good story. It's like a fun addition. It's a fun like reference or whatever. The cat's going nuts outside. Might need to deal with him in a minute. But someone needs a spraying. But yep. Shh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna deal with him. Sorry, chat. Sorry about that. He is very, 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 very rude. The 6th was Snorlax, not Lapras. Yeah, in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they switch out Espeon for Lapras, so he basically has his like Orange Islands team, which is a really good idea. And again, given that, see again, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they make it hail at the top of Mount Silver. Except for when there's Diamond Dust, you can get Diamond Dust at the top of Mount Silver, so then you actually your battle experience will be completely different if that happens. But anyone who is a fan of M&J TV will know about that. But like yeah, but in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they like add hail, they switch out Espeon for Lapras, and then they give Lapras Blastoise and Snorlax Blizzard. So it's like they can hit you with like a base 120 ice move 100% of the time. So in like Heart Gold Soul Silver, that battle is like a really good battle. Like they don't just like put a bunch of Pokemon together that like thematically are cool. They actually like make it a good team, and like the Pikachu's like holding a light ball and it knows Volt Tackle, and it's like, so in Heart Gold Soul Silver, like no notes, like 10 out of 10, good stuff. Well, I can't remember what moves and stuff the Venusaur has, but the Venusaur in like Gold and Silver like likes to use Solar Beam. I think it knows Giga Drain, but it just always uses Solar Beam. It's terrible. But Gold and Silver, I wouldn't call Red a story element. And I think the Team Rocket thing is super duper weak. I think, and to further really kind of like drive this into the dust, to really kind of drive this point home, I would say, like, to really kind of drive this point home, in the original Gold and Silver, because if you've like played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you might kind of forget this or not realize this, but in like Gold and Silver, like none of the Team Rocket people, and I think this is literally none of them have names. None of them have names. Like, you may be thinking, no, wasn't there like the executive, like they were named after like moons or asteroids, or I can't even remember what they're called now, or like Archer. Wasn't there a guy called Archer or something like that? Like, wasn't there a dude called Archer? Because like he's in Let's Go. They have him in Pokemon Let's Go. The guy from Hot Gold Soul Silver, they put him in Let's Go. It's a really cool reference. It's a nice touch. But in Gold and Silver, it's just Rocket Executive, Rocket Grunt, Rocket Janitor. Like, that's all they do. Like, it's just... And I'm sorry, but it's like, if you're... I'm not saying that you can't have a good story where the character doesn't have a name. You know, like, I can tell you a bunch of good... There are, like, some good films where, like, there are characters where... Oh, hang on, is my stream lagging? No, I think it's okay. But there are like some good films where like there's a character and the character like doesn't have a name, like the character's just called like the narrator or something like that. But like, yeah, but you know, it's like, oh, Team Rocket are back. Who? Just some grunts and an executive. But the executive has a name, or like, and it's one of those things where I saw a review for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and again, they're not great games. I'm not trying to like stand up for them, but a complaint I saw was that the person complained that, and I'm sorry I've said this before, and I'm sorry if you know who I'm talking about, but like they complained that Cyrus didn't have a name. And if you're like, that sentence doesn't make sense, you just said Cyrus, as in the leader of Team Galactic, Cyrus, like that's his name, doesn't have a name. And it's like, yeah. Like, and there are some points where they refer to him as just like boss or something, and I get that, and it's kind of weird when they do that kind of thing. Like, sometimes they refer to him as Cyrus, and even after he's established as Cyrus, that it'll kind of like call him boss or something, and that's weird. I'll give you that, and that is a legit criticism if you say that. But that's not what he was saying. He was just saying the person doesn't have a name, and it's like, you clearly didn't like pay attention whilst playing this game. Like, and then it's like, if you weren't even paying attention whilst playing the game, how can I like trust anything you say about this? And it was just kind of like, and it was like, do you have the same complaint about Gold and Silver? Because in Gold and Silver, they actually don't have names. The bad guys actually don't have names in that game. But yeah, so that's my complaint. Charlie's off to bed. Good night, Charlie. But yeah, if no name or whatnot, Matthew Betley, you're making so many lovely and brilliant points today, Matthew. So like, but blah, 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 blah. But like, but if no name or whatnot, at least give them some other defining trait. Right, exactly. Like a personalized sprite or whatever. But that's the thing, if you just have like Rocket Executive and he kind of just looks like other Rocket Executives or whatever, I don't know. Like, maybe the Rocket Executive was an individualized defining thing. But like, in fairness, it could be. I actually can't remember. I haven't played Pokemon Gold for like, it was like 2 years ago, I think I played it or whatever, so maybe that's the thing. But I feel like there might have been multiple executives in that game. I don't even know if it was the same character. maybe it's the same character, but it just says executive, and so maybe you're fighting 2 different executives, or maybe you're fighting the same executive twice. I don't know. And again, and maybe the game does make that clear. I don't know though, but yeah. JP Crystal. Oh, I might have missed this. Crystal has a story thanks to the Suicune focus quest. What I'll say, the way I'll distinguish that is, Crystal has more like story elements or story within it, but I would still say Crystal doesn't have a story. If you know what I mean when I say like a story, like it has story in it, but it doesn't have a story. If that distinction makes sense, and I almost feel like I'm saying those the wrong way round, but like in my head I know what I mean. But like, because like Arceus like has story within it, but then it doesn't really actually have an ending, which is kind of weird. I feel like OMG, how do you remember all these game details? I can't even remember what I ate yesterday. No, I'm glad I remembered, like, just because otherwise that'd be scary. I love the smell of sea spray in a Pokemon game. Let's see. Let's hang on. Okay, hang on. I think that's I remember reading that chat and stuff. So, and then let's just see. Hang on, what have we got here? So, right, Charlie going to bed, and then, okay. So, but yes, thank you, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Let's see. So, Beau, have you and Sarah ever do the spicy food challenge thing you two were joking about a few years ago on a Chongyun stream? No, I like don't go to restaurants or anything since the pandemic. I know I like get my McDonald's, but I always get that like takeout at the counter kind of thing. Like I go in, I get my bag, I go out. Maybe someday Sarah and I could do some hot food challenge. Again, when I'm more established in my life and I have that, okay, here's my Genshin stream, here's my like, you know, Xenoblade stream, my like weekly Nintendo game, and then here's my like random other thing. Maybe we could have like I cook spicy food for me and Sarah or something like that. Okay, JP. Okay, we were on the same wavelength there. Okay, I didn't want to just assume that's what you meant. I kind of, but I just wanted to make that clear for anyone who was like reading your comment who might not have understood it or whatever. Or I just wanted to check, like, is that kind of what you meant? Yes, but you are totally right about Pokemon Crystal. Yeah, Pokemon Crystal, they definitely inject more story into it, which is good. So that's cool. Because yeah, the Suicune stuff is nice. Like it's a nice thing, but yeah, it's just a bit of a shame. It's just, I don't know. It's just a bit, because in a way, like, I don't know, like just Johto sort of. I feel like Johto kind of is like lacking some identity because of it. I know like Johto has like cool lore, but like lore is different. Like lore or like premise is different than story. Those two things, like, so like Arceus has like a really good premise, but then it doesn't really have a whole lot of actual like story beyond that premise. And then Johto, like Gold and Silver, like there's all this lore, like they have all this stuff about like the Burn Tower and the Tin Tower and everything, but then like there's just nothing really happens. You just go and beat a bunch of gym leaders and again, because again, one of the things that annoys me about Sword and Shield, that people, sorry, or when people get down on Sword and Shield, not about Sword and Shield. I love Sword and Shield. But the thing that annoys me about when people get down on Sword and Shield is they sort of complain that like, oh, it's just you go around and you get your 8 gym badges and that's all you do. And it's like, for one thing, it's the first like game to kind of have that where you don't have an Elite Four. Even Sun and Moon, which didn't have a gym leader challenge, still had an Elite Four. So I think Sword and Shield were like the first mainline series games to just not have an Elite Four, which was interesting and cool. And what did it replace it with? Something heavily story focused. And like kind of to do with like the sort of the lore of the region sort of thing. Because again, I've sort of said this, but like of all the games where like you go around and you get your 8 badges and then you go and like your sort of your goal is to become a champion, I don't think any game has done that sort of basic idea in terms of like story better than Sword and Shield. You know, in Pokemon Red and Blue, Oak's like, go complete your Pokédex, and then you go out and you get 8 gyms, and then like you become the champion, and he's like, he's like, oh my goodness, you've become the champion, but that's not what I asked you to do. Your Pokédex only has 37 Pokemon in it. What have you been doing? This isn't what I asked you. Like, you know, like that's Pokemon Red and Blue in a nutshell. And like Gold and Silver, kind of like same thing. You know, like here's a Pokédex, here's a Pokemon, go have an adventure, and then you just kind of go around and get badges like that, you know. And that's kind of like in a way how a lot of these games work. Like they're kind of just like, here's a Pokédex, like go have an adventure, like, and then you kind of like the adventure then just sort of happens to manifest into going around and beating the gyms and stuff like that in a way. Like it's not like the it's not really kind of like, you know, there's not really anything to suggest that like it is your dream as a character to beat these gym leaders and become the best trainer in the do you know what I mean? Like that's not really what the vibe you get from like any of these games. Sun and Moon was kind of the first one to kind of do that, where it was kind of like, oh, there's this island challenge, and it's this like really cool thing, and like people on the island love to do this, and you should do this, and stuff like that. And then, you know, then Kukui's like, I want to make a Pokemon League, like all the other regions and stuff like that. That's all really cool. Like Sun and Moon walked so that Sword and Shield could run, I feel like, in that regard. But Sword and Shield was the one where it was like, hey, you're in this region where like the whole gym leader challenge, it's like, it's a sport, and it's like a sport how like football is a sport in the UK. It is huge. It is televised. The gym leaders are celebrities. Like it's all televised. There's like commercials and adverts and stadiums and crowds watching every battle. And it's like it's this huge thing, and there's like a whole bunch of people who are setting out on like this like big quest, and you're one of them, and it's like, you know, like 32 have entered but only one has made it to the end, like all that kind of stuff. Like it's cool. It kind of like when you become champion in that game, it's like, yeah, this is what was like laid out for me right at the start of the game. Like you've got this unbeatable you've got this unbeatable champion. Your best friend is his brother, and his brother like has the same goal as you. Like you both want to be the guy to unseat this unbeatable guy. And because the younger brother, you know, has these like inadequacy issues as well, because his big brother is this big unbeatable celebrity and stuff, and he wants to be like the unbeatable celebrity, and he's determined to be the guy. But then it turns out you're the guy. You're the new guy. Like that's all really cool and good. And again, like being champion in Sword and Shield, I feel like means more than being champion in any other game. So, Sir Chester United. So yeah, you know. So hang on, JP. Your only gripe with Sword Shield is that its narrative that Game Freak should have expanded to include a voice part as part of. Then silent lip flap singing peers isn't as off. That's kind of true. Again, yeah, like it's a bit of a shame to go back to that again. Like, would it be nice for like these bigger games to have had good voice acting? And yes, is getting good voice acting an easy and straightforward thing to do? No, but I agree that yes, Sword and Shield is one where if you could have had good voice acting put in these games, that's the one where it would have been nice to start it all or whatever. Oh, hang on. I like this. Kevin makes a point that like the critique of, I'm assuming it's to do with Ruby and Sapphire. I can't find the beginning of this conversation. But like, it's not that there's too much water. It's just the water routes aren't interesting enough. And I would argue that they are actually quite interesting if you do delve into them enough. But yeah, sorry, I actually don't know what I said which made Matthew talk about the Ruby and Sapphire too much water thing in the first place. Oh, if you mean about like the Cyrus not having a name thing, maybe if it was like to do with that. But yeah, so like again, it was just one of those things where I was like, hang on, like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl has like so many things like that are flawed about it, but like Cyrus not having a name is not one of them. And then the other thing that annoyed me as well, and again, this was such a Nintendo fan comment as well in that, and again, I apologize if you know whose review I'm talking about, Um, but like there are a lot of reviews and things they've done where I really enjoy them and I really respect them, but I was just like, what are you talking about when they were like saying these things? But they like complained for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl about that basically the game, because I just said about Sword and Shield. I know Sword and Shield has the whole, like, oh, you go around, you beat 8 gyms, like, it's 8 specifically, not 6, not 10, but, like, 8. I get that, right? I get that. From a gameplay perspective, it's like, you could have mixed up a bit, and we just had something different with Sun and Moon. But, like, but I feel like they did such a good job with, like, justifying it in the story. Like, they did the whole 8 gym leader thing better than, like, any game can in the future. Like, I feel like if there's any time to mix up the whole gym leader thing, it's now, because Sword and Shield kind of did what they always should have done, and like Sword and Shield finally did it. But anyway, this review about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that annoyed me, and again, I'm sorry, I've said this before, and I do apologize to those of you who have tuned into Beau video games before, but like, in addition to the Cyrus thing, it complained about the game being like, so like, you go around and you beat gyms, and then, like, there's an evil team, and they want to use the box art legendary to do evil things. And here's the thing. If you were saying that about, I mean, that's not the plot line for Sword and Shield, but if you were saying that about, like, Sun and Moon, right? I mean, although that's not really the plot for Sun and Moon either, is it? Like, X and Y. If you were saying that for X and Y, so I had to think back, because I think, it's funny, because that archetype hasn't actually been... Hang on, you're not shiny. No, you're not shiny. That's just lighting. Like, that archetype that I just described, that actually hasn't been used... For one thing, that actually hasn't been used in Pokemon games that much, which is kind of why I had an issue with it. Hasn't actually been used that much. And the thing is, that didn't begin being a thing. That wasn't a thing until Ruby and Sapphire. Because again, Red and Blue and Gold and Silver don't have stories. They don't have plot. So, like, you know, yes, there's a whole bunch of lore about Mewtwo and Team Rocket, but it's nowhere in the game. It's nowhere in the actual game's story. So, like, you know, so it's one of those things where it's like, that whole, like, oh, there's an evil team and they try and use the legendary Pokemon to, you know, fulfill their nefarious deeds. That wasn't a thing until Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald. But that wasn't a thing until Ruby and Sapphire. It's like Gen 3. And then Gen 4 were the second games to do that. And I feel like if you're making a remake of a game that was only the second time they ever did that, and like you're complaining about that, it's like, but it's a remake of an old game. You know, it would be like, for me... That would be like looking at, like, if they ported Mario Bros. 3 or something, right? That would be like, if you made a Mario game and you're like, okay, so like you're Mario and you beat Bow. Like, if you looked at Mario Wonder and you're like, okay, so you play as Mario and you run and you collect mushrooms and then at the end you fight against Bowser, right? I would understand that as a critique for Mario Wonder. If you're like releasing Mario All-Stars, like, oh, here's a port of Mario All-Stars. And you go, okay, see, like, in Mario 3, you run around, because like, Mario 2 was, like, a whole different thing. So, like, Mario 3 is kind of the spiritual second Mario game. But if you looked at Mario Bros. 3, and you're like, so you run around, you collect mushrooms, and at the end, you fight Bowser, I'd be like, well, yeah, because this was the second Mario game, kind of thing. Like the second sort of proper Mario game. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like, that for me is, like, it's the same thing. It's the same complaint. And, so yeah, like that review, again, I was like, yeah, there's a load of things wrong with this game, and you're complaining about a bunch of stuff which aren't those issues. Like, it was so weird. It was so weird, man. Hang on, how long we got left? 8 minutes. Okay, let me just check chat for a sec. Because my chat did not scroll down. Is it shiny or is it bad lighting? But yeah, Don't get me wrong. That whole archetype of like an evil team, like using the box art legendary, like, yeah, is that a bit of a tired old trope now? Like, yes, because, you know, but at the same time, like, that's been done 4 times in 9 generations between like Gens 3 and 6. Like, am I right in saying that? Like, I'm not crazy for saying that. Like, Red and Blue, like, there's no you know, like, oh, Team Rocket trying to use Blastoise and Charizard. No. And they, you know, there's nothing with like, oh, they try and use Mewtwo like in the story, right? That like, it's lore, but it's not story. Like, there's no actual gameplay. You know, where you like, oh, you have to save Mewtwo, you have to break it out of one of those containers or whatever. So like, you know, it's kind of like so. And then in Gen 2, Ho-Oh and Lugia have nothing to do with anything. As JP rightly pointed out, like they put in some nice kind of Suicune stuff and Crystal, but that's kind of almost more just like expanding on the lore, like, oh, Suicune is different, you know, but there's, you know, I don't know, but there's not, but again, it's not like, oh, evil team uses Suicune, right? And then Ruby and Sapphire, yep, that is the plot of them. They try and use Groudon to expand the land, or Kyogre to expand the sea. Diagram Palkia use them to create a whole new world. Yep, a whole new world. Disney, don't sue me. Black and White, you know, try and you have this person who tries to, you know, either have the sort of you know, perfect ideals or perfect truth to summon the Pokemon of ideals or the Pokemon of truth. Yep, that's totally a thing. Lysander, yep, he uses the energy from Yveltal and Xerneas to fire his Laser. Like, yep, that's a thing. But then, yeah, Sun and Moon, there's not really like a, oh, they try and use... In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they kind of do, admittedly, perhaps. But, like, so that's kind of maybe like a half point. But in Sun and Moon, it's not really about, like, oh, here's a bad guy, and they're trying to use, like, Solgaleo and Lunala. Like, that's not the plot of those games. Sort of thing, like, I don't know. And then Sword and Shield, no, because it's admittedly there is like a bad guy tries to use a legendary Pokemon, but not the box art one, you know. And it's like, well, in fairness, like, you know, if you got all these creatures that are like kind of powerful, and then you're gonna have some where there's only like one of those Pokemon in existence, and it's like all super duper powerful. What is a bad guy gonna do in the game? It's like, well, utilizing the power of an evil Pokemon or something, using the power of that Pokemon or something, is, you know, that's not a crazy idea. So the fact they've only done it like 4 out of 9 times, like, isn't really that bad, you know. You know, I don't know. It's like, well, you could have someone like just build a laser, or he could have the Pokemon power up his laser. Like, which of those two are you going to go with in a Pokemon game? So again, it was such a weird complaint. And again, it was about a remake, like the second time they'd ever done this thing. Like a trope which, is it a bit of a worn out trope? Yes. Is it totally overused? I would actually argue no. But like this is what Pokemon fans have to put up with from people who aren't really Pokemon fans but complain and talk about Pokemon as if they are Pokemon fans, but they're not really Pokemon fans, which is fine. It's fine if you, again, it's fine if you don't like the tactical turn-based strategy RPG or whatever, like, that's cool, that's fine, but just leave us who do alone. But anyway, sorry, we've got like 1 minute left. Oh, 4 minutes left. Okay. Oh wow, we have more time than I thought. But yeah. But that's just my rant about that. Which again, I'm sorry I've been on that rant so many times. Still haven't talked about Persona. But yeah, that just really bothers me. Again, like, it's just, you get these people who clearly don't really like Pokemon at its core, but then complain about it and want it to change. It'd be like marrying the wrong person or something. You know, like if you married someone who just isn't right for you, it's like, well, then don't be married to them. Like, don't try and like, yeah, people grow and learn and change, but if you just marry like the wrong person, you can't change someone into something that they are not. You know, like people sort of, you know, you have to kind of have a good baseline sort of thing. You have to like something for what it is before you can sort of complain about it and try and change it. And I think there are a lot of people who just don't really like the turn-based strategy RPG collectathon thing. So yeah, just very weird. I am only gonna get one more Grookey. Chat, we need... Okay, green hearts, yellow hearts, and monkeys. Do like a green heart, and then a monkey in the middle, and then green, and then yellow heart kind of thing. Like, sandwich the monkey between the hearts, and maybe we stand a chance of actually getting this final Grookey, which would be really cool. It'd be cool if we could get a final Grookey. That would be quite fun. And then... maybe we'll do one more shiny hunt after this. I don't know what to hunt for, but maybe we'll do the hunt. Actually, no, we will do one more hunt. I know what we'll hunt for. I know what we'll hunt for. Oh, crud, no, I didn't mean to press that button. No, because I want to keep playing. So anyway, so that's my Pokemon rant. Let's just check chat very quickly. So let's see. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't scratch my facial hair up to the microphone because that Briar should have been a villain, but they backpedal on committing. Yeah, I kind of feel like they were like maybe setting her up for something, but then, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it still felt like they were setting her up for more than what she became. Yeah, since Sun and Moon, the box legendaries have been like good Pokemon that aid you against like the bad guy. Yeah. And then, yeah, I kind of liked that Scarlet and Violet didn't super duper really have a villain. Like, there is kind of secretly a villain in Scarlet and Violet. And it's a nice twist on the thing that it usually would be. It's kind of like the roles are reversed a bit. But yeah. So, okay, there we go. Right, we'll go back to the bottom of chat. There we go. You should hunt for a Blossom, Kevin says. Kevin, like, you know, you're probably gonna leave in a minute, so you know you can get away with that, but like, it's like don't tempt fate. Like we've still got like 3 minutes left for for us to get like what, like a how many, what, like a 5th Blossom or whatever. Don't tempt fate. Don't tempt fate and then leave, or whatever. Okay. So. I do feel, I know I said, oh, don't run on, actually, no, we'll stay off Koraidon for the last, like, couple of minutes. Just see if this helps, or whatever. But yeah, see, like, that Grookey, like, it looks lighter, and then you get up close to it, and you're like, no, and then you see the Blossom, you see the yellow on the Blossom, and you're like, oh, and then it's like, no. You know, and then you're like, oh, a Grookey, oh, a Blossom, like, just every time. Every single one I see, there's like in my head, there's a reaction. There's a, oh, is it? But no. Right, I know I said I wasn't going to get on this, but I am going to, just to get away. And then, okay, that's a group of Blossom. That's not what we're after here at Beau Video Games. But yeah, so in conclusion, I don't really think that... I think it's a fairly objective thing to say that Gold and Silver, Pokemon Gold and Silver, doesn't really have a story. Like, let alone, like, the best or one of the best stories, I would dare say that it doesn't even have one. And I think that a lot of Pokemon fans would agree with me on that, and I feel like you guys in chat are agreeing with me on that, so that's kind of a relief. Thank you for not making me feel crazy about something where I'm like, but I'm right. And yeah, as a Genshin player, you can't help but tempt fate. Darn you. So okay. But yeah, sorry. I need to like shave tomorrow. But, so my face was just a bit itchy from, like, the facial hair, from, like, the several days of facial hair growth I have. And yeah, I was scratching it right up close to the mic, and that probably just sounds all coarse and rough. If it's a nice ASMR-y thing, then yay, cool, but it probably just sounded like my stream was messing up. Okay, anyway, we've probably got... Hang on. Nope, you're not shiny. Come on, light, shiny Grookey. Chat put so many emojis in chat. And we got a... Oh no, I'm seeing Trombeaks and Picky Picks. That means it's over. No. Okay, well, that's it for this hunt. So, let me just save the game. I'm going to double check my shiny list, okay? So I actually can't really, like, tick anything off technically because I still technically need Sobbles and Score Bunnies. But, like, you know, we've got... But we've got, like, one. I'm not gonna try and get, like, one of everything, you know, like, all 3 of each line or whatever. So let me check one thing, though. Let me just check what Pokemon do we have left over remaining? And the answer is not a whole lot. That one's too hard to shiny hunt for. That one we'll do on, like, a special stream. That one... Again, I'll just do that whenever or whatever. Those one that could be fun for streams, but that's a very special situation. And that one is definitely a handheld, not a on-camera thing, so or on-stream thing. So, I think let's do one more shiny hunt. Let's do one more shiny hunt. We could end things here because we got the shinies that we said, but. Let's do one more shiny hunt because, you know, we got time and I have faith that this will yield us some good results or something or whatever. So let's save the game 50 bajillion times. Yeah, Johto has lore, not a narrative. Exactly, JP. Exactly. No, the thing is, I will probably get the rest of these shinies from Pokemon Go someday. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would just be easier. Unless the servers go offline before we get to Grookey Community Day. Wouldn't that be fun? I am interested in the future of Pokemon Go. Because I don't know how long it will last. But I think in, like, the last 2 years, it's, like, made less money. Like, the amount of money it's making is going down. And the problem is that in their desperation to not make less money, they then Niantic then kind of do things and make choices that are how to put this without saying the word dumb. No, I'm kidding. But they make sort of choices that kind of are gonna, like, alienate or not help people. They're either gonna alienate people or not pull them in more, or give them a chance to, like, drift away. Which then doesn't help your problem, it only makes it worse. And I maintain, the thing I sort of maintain with Pokemon Go is Pokemon Go was always going to have, like, an expiration date, a point where, like, it would catch up and people would lose interest and there wouldn't be enough new Pokemon and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And a game of that magnitude, a game of that scale, of that magnitude, you're not going to be able to keep it up. But the thing I always kind of felt like is, really though, they should have, like, lent into that in a way. Like, you should have said, like, right, we're going to be able to keep this going for, like, you know, 10 years or something like that. Let's just make sure we can make as much money in, like, the 10 years as possible. And then that's it kind of thing, you know? That's what I think they should have done. Because what they've done is that they've kind of, like, brought the game to, like, a screeching halt. In terms of, like, new content and stuff like that, and they release new content so sort of both sporadically and I can't think of the other phrase I'm looking for, but just so far apart. It's just so there's just barely any, you know, it's every few months they'll be like, oh, here's like one new Pokemon or whatever, and I sort of feel like it's like, no, they should have just kept going at the same pace, because then people would have stayed engaged for longer, you know? Like, if you'd have just kept releasing a new, like, generation of Pokemon once a year at the same time every year, yes, you would have caught up to, you know, like, okay, now we've, like, caught up to Scarlet and Violet, but, like, so what? Like, you know, you would have still had, like, a fully engaged player base. Whereas by coming to a crawl now, you know, we just get so, like, we've been in, like, a Alola for so long, and we were in Carlos for so long before that. And, like, those 2 generations don't even have many new Pokemon, like, to release. So, it's just kind of like, you know, like, I bet a load of people probably dropped off because they're like, well, I've kind of caught all the Pokemon, I've kind of done everything, and they just barely release any new Pokemon. Sparsely, I think, might have been one of the phrases I was looking for. Right, sparkling encounter title. So maybe that was it, JP. But yeah, sparingly could have been another one, like sparingly and sparingly, sporadically. Okay, so we're gonna hunt for. There's a bit of a weird one. I know we got an Esper on stream. I think this was one of the first ones we got on this recent series of shiny hunts. But I do need a male Esper. Hang on, let's just check genders here. Okay. So I do need a male Esper. And we never got male Esper. I don't know if like Scarlet and Violet have a thing where Violet has more males. Because notice how we're seeing more female Meowsticks. So I don't know if one game has more males and the other has more females, but we need a male Meowstick. We had a female shiny Meowstick, and we have a shiny female Esper, but we need to get like a male Esper or a male Meowstick. So I kind of thought this is like a fun chance to make one more sweet on your sandwich, and then yeah, and this will be a fun way. The sweet on your sandwich, that kind of has to be like the final sandwich, doesn't it? And yeah, so I will just talk about some of the other Pokemon that I have to shiny hunt, because hey, why not? And like why I'm not getting them on stream or whatever. So again, we've done the Grookey and the Scorbunny and the Sobble, and we could hunt for one more of each. And maybe if I end up getting a load of Harbor Mystica, I'll just end up doing that. But like they're going to be available in Pokemon Go someday as well. Like I will get them eventually, one way or another. But it's not really worth like doing extra hunts. You know, I've got like half an hour to an hour left. I would need to do that for Scorbunny, Grookey, and if I only had one of them, like if I needed like one more Grookey, but I was like good for Scorbunny and Sobble, I absolutely and definitely would have just done like another Grookey sandwich or something. Or, you know, if I'd have had one more of like one of the starters, or even like two more, I would have been like, oh, let's see if we can get one more of, you know, these. But we need one more of like all three of them, so it's just a bit like, like that's probably just better saved for another time. The Sobble one would be a bit easier in handheld as well, I won't lie. That, you know, that was a bit hard to do on screen. Kevin, bye, thank you so much. Container of eggs, hello, welcome. Lovely to see you. Bye, Kevin, thank you so much. So yeah, let's see. And then so okay, remember to like and subscribe, Kevin. Like, no, he would have done that. What if Kevin has like never subscribed in all this time? Can you imagine? No, anyway, Bark. So yeah, so the remaining Galar starters, not worth it for those reasons. Oh, there we go, shiny Esper. Is it male? Oh, it's female! Ah, so close. So close. Dang. Well, okay, we still got time. I told you, guys, the sweet onion sandwiches, they are so effective. Like, I always get loads of shinies with the sweet onion sandwich. That this is fine. This is fine. We're gonna get like 9 bajillion Esper, okay? We're gonna get 9 bajillion Esper. But yeah, there we go, Esper. Lovely. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Just call it McDonald's because we're loving it. Okay. So, but look, but that's the thing. But I do think the odds are a bit stacked against us in a way, because the Espers have the 50-50, and then I swear in this game you see more females. Look, there's a male there, but like, look, two female Meowsticks, and then look, two and then one, so another two versus one. Look, female. Oh, but then a male, okay, but then a female. So again, I don't know if it's a Scarlet and Violet thing. I don't know if just I'm horrendously unlucky. But whenever I've kind of done this hunt before and stuff like that, or I've been to this area with like a psychic sandwich, I always feel like I see the female more than the male. Look, we saw one back there, there's two, and then there's a male. And then here's a male to balance it out, but then we're back to the female. But the male takes the lead, but then there's a female. So maybe I'm just unlucky. Take a photo of Pokemon mid-flight. So maybe we'll be lucky and we'll just get a straight up shiny male Meowstic. But if we don't, or if we can't, then the like the shiny Esper that's male will be fine as well. So, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So what else? What did I say next? So one of the other ones, if we get this shiny male Esper or the male Meowstic, either, as long as we get this shiny male little dude, whichever one, I will then have the Sweet on Your Sandwich active for a little while longer, and we could use that to try and hunt for one of the other shinies that I do still need one of. I've got 3 of them, but I need a 4th, and that's Oricorio. You don't technically need to have like 4 different Oricorios, because you can just change which one it is with an item. And so I have like done that for like registration purposes and stuff like that. I have like switched around the Oricorios that I do have, so that on my Pokedex, I have all 4 of them registered. However, I've got 3 of them. It would be kind of cool and fun to get a 4th, so that I could have the Fire-type Oricorio, the Electric-type Oricorio, the Psychic-type Oricorio, and the Ghost-type Oricorio. And if I have a Psychic Sandwich, I could go to the place where there are Psychic Oricorios, and then we could hunt for them. Hang on. Yeah, I keep seeing these female Meowstics, and they look highly suspect. I can't tell if they're shiny or what's going on, but maybe I just can't see the blue on them in this light. Yeah, no, you got blue. Again, male Meowstic is way easier to actually see whether it's shiny or not, because basically the blue changes to yellow on Meowsticks, but the female Meowsticks are white and sort of like white with a bit of blue, and the male are blue with a bit of white. So it's way easier to see. It's way easier to see if a thing that is like blue all over has had the blue switched out for yellow, compared to the thing with a little bit of blue on it being switched out for yellow. But oh well. Container of eggs. Yeah, I feel like female Meowstic is more common than the male one in Scarlet. In your Scarlet save file, you see a lot more female than male, but in Violet, it's the other way around. I knew it! Thank you for confirming that. Chloe Rainbow Starlight, hi, nice to meet you too. Welcome. We are just doing our final... We've had good success today, so we're just kind of like... We're sort of on our final shiny hunt here. Of the day, because we kind of did what we set out to do, which was to get one of each of the Galar starters, and then now we're just kind of doing some other shiny hunting, and we're currently looking for either a shiny male Esper or a shiny male Meowstic. But we were just talking about how we feel like in Scarlet there are more female Meowsticks that spawn. And then in Violet, maybe more male Meowstic spawn. For the Esper, it's probably still like 50-50. I mean, I could like check all these and check, I could be like, ooh, wait, why did you have like a yellow thing on you? That just makes it look like you're shiny. That just makes me think, oh, you're shiny. But okay. But anyway, let's keep looking. Oh, no, I bumped into a thing. How are you? I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm doing very well. No, I had a good week this week. I sort of talked earlier. I got a therapy lamp, which has been fun to try out. And hopefully I'm getting the benefits of it. Like I said, it's very bright. And like when it ends, because I have it on a timer, when it ends, you are kind of like, huh, like it's actually pretty dark in here. Like I didn't realize how dark it was in this room until like a giant bright light turned off. So that's kind of interesting. And then... yeah, so I've had like a good week, and then like the stream has been really good. Chat has been absolutely wonderful today. Like chat, you are normally excellent and really good, but today you have been like top tier chat for me today. And I really appreciate it. We've had a lot of fun back and forth, and lots of fun comments and insights, and I really appreciate that. Again, it's nice it's nice like having either your thoughts validated or seeing people think the same things as you, or people saying interesting things that you've not really got a chance to think about yourself. So that's been really cool. And then this has been a successful shiny hunt, and yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this shiny hunt, and or like this shiny hunting stream. And then we've also been trying to decide what to do for next week, and I still haven't talked about Persona 5 yet, which I will, I guess, talk about now actually, and then we'll talk about what we'll do next week. So what will we do? Persona 5. Persona 5. I have never played a Persona game before, but I've wanted to play this one for ages because there are a lot of like friends and cool people in this game. So I've sort of been aware of it for years. Because, I mean, it came out in like 2016, right? Like the first one. So I've been aware of it for a long time. And back then, that was like when I was in England. And these were just people who I admired from afar, from 5,000 miles away. But it was nice, you know, a bunch of these people have since like become my friends, you know, not just my colleagues, but my friends. And so I wanted to play this game that people say is really good and that has really struck a chord with people. And that also has, you know, that struck a chord, looks fun, sounds fun. I always like listening to, because I grew up on like Mario and Legend of Zelda and Donkey Kong and like Nintendo stuff. So I didn't really I've never really like had a whole lot of like video game voice acting in my video games. So I always like to play. So for like the past decade or so, I have been playing more games like with voice acting in. It kind of began with like there's like Batman Arkham City on the Wii U, and then I got the Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 on Wii U. And then I got like and then on DS there were like the Fire Emblem games, and I got like Bravely Default and Bravely Second, because these people who I had been like listening to, like in anime and stuff, I knew they worked in games, and I was kind of like, well, I want to work in the kinds of projects that these people work on, and what kind of projects do they work on? And I was like, I want to find out about them. So, you know, so that's So, you know, that's kind of what I've been doing, and Persona kind of got added to that sort of mental list of, you know, hey, this is stuff which, hey, if you ever get a chance to play this, and yeah, and I wanted to play it, and I'm so glad it came on Switch, and that there were good Black Friday sales, because I actually got it back for like Black Friday, so I know it's taken me a while to get around to playing it, but I wanted to play my other games first. And then, yeah, and I'm glad I'm not juggling this game with other... I mean, admittedly, I actually have juggled this game with shiny hunting this week, because I have been turning on my games just to see, like, oh, if I have a good outbreak of a Pokemon, I'll shiny hunt for it. Like if I get an outbreak for Sobble, Grookey, or Scorbunny, I'll try and get my final one, you know? But I won't bother... I won't really bother, like, otherwise, though. And I will talk... Oh, yeah, I didn't even actually finish talking about the other shinies that I still haven't hunted yet. But we'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, so I'm playing... So I'm finally playing Persona 5. And again, I'm glad that it's, like, on Switch and that there's, like, this, like, you know, sort of enhanced remake on the Switch or whatever. It's really cool. So, Oh, Metamaxis. Hi, welcome. In your Latias hunt... 4 total, but none today. So how are you hunting for your Latias? Are you... Because on Pokemon Go, the event has changed, right? Like, Latias and Latios are not in Pokemon Go anymore. So are you hunting, like, on, like, the Dynamax adventures or something? Or are they still in Pokemon Go? Let me know how you're hunting for Latias. And I hope you get a gold one. Do I have... I feel like I have Latios, but I don't have Latias. Like, I feel like I have one, but... not the other. But at the same time, I'm like, am I just confusing that for someone else? Like, because sometimes if I'm like playing Pokemon Go with a friend or with a couple of friends, I'll kind of forget, like, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, I have all the Reggies. Like, I thought I had 2 of them, and then like my friend caught the 3rd or something like that. So I'll often get like confused. But yes, JP. Oh, it's 2017 for us. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. No, that's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. It was 2017. Oh, Seth, hi. Welcome, welcome. Wow, I've got loads of people. For all the new people, and Omar, hi. For all the people who are coming in, please like and subscribe. We're doing our final shiny hunt of the day today. We're hoping for a male Esper. So, oh my god. Oh, wait, Raiders. We got Raiders. Raiders? Does YouTube actually have raids? I didn't know YouTube had raids. Metamaxis. Well, thank you so much for the raid. I didn't know raids were a thing on YouTube. But anyway, so hi Raiders. Speaking of raids, I don't have anything else to add to that. So Metamaxis, hi, welcome. So Metamaxis, Container of Eggs, Chloe Rainbow Starlight, Omar, hi, Seth, hi, and all the others. Okay, so it's Dynamax Adventures, yeah, because I did Dynamax Adventures streams a few weeks ago. And stream shared to community tab. Oh, nice. Awesome. Okay, thank you. So not officially. Okay, I was like, and in all honesty, I kind of like that. Like, I'm glad to have like a whole bunch of lovely new people in. And it's very lovely to see you all. Do any of you who have come in like know who I am? And please don't think that I'm saying, do you know who I am? Like, I don't think I'm a big shot or anything at all. But just if you play video games and stuff, you might know and recognize me from a few things, maybe, possibly, sort of, potentially. So that's why I ask. I don't ask in a like, guys, I'm pretty big. Like, no, I'm not. But if you don't know, I'm a voice actor, and if you don't know that I'm a voice actor or anything, I'll happily tell you a few of the things that I've been in. But no, Persona 5 though, quickly, because I'll talk about it quickly at least, because I'll probably talk about it more in like the coming weeks or whatever as I play more of it. But I'm really enjoying it. The part of me that in Fire Emblem Three Houses. In fact, like if you liked in Fire Emblem Three Houses, if you liked like having like a bajillion different things to do, right? Like if you liked like going around like after a level, like after you beat a level, that you could like you'd go around the whole castle and you'd talk to each student, and then you'd like pick up various items off the floor, and then you'd like go and find the students to return them to, and then you'd like go fishing, and then you'd like make a meal, and then you'd like have a cup of tea with someone, you know, like basically like you had your activity points, and then you'd go around the castle and talk to all the students, and you'd buy items so you could like up their friendship and all that. Like if you like all that stuff in Fire Emblem Three Houses, you'll like love Persona 5. The part of my brain that did enjoy kind of doing that in Fire Emblem Three Houses is very nicely appeased by Persona 5. Because yeah, there's just so much stuff to do, and there's like, I've got a bit of time before bed, I can do some studying to up my knowledge, or like I'm gonna watch a DVD to up my kindness or my charm or whatever kind of thing, like, you know. And I've got like, there's a seat on the subway today, I'm gonna read a book and all this stuff. Like that thing where you're kind of like, there's all these things to do, and I'm gonna see what I can cram in. I'm sorry that the phrase "cram in" keeps coming up today. Like, I promise it's not deliberate. It just keeps happening. Yeah, like it's just this. Like that part of me is. But admittedly, though, with Fire Emblem Three Houses, as much as I enjoyed all that stuff, that was also one of its weaknesses and downsides as well, because I would sit and have a play session where like I'd play the game for like 2 hours, and I was like, I didn't get anything done. Like I didn't like do any battles. Like Fire Emblem's like big chess, and I did no big chess today because there was just so many characters to talk to and things to do. But yeah, so like Persona 5, like just all these nummy little things to do. That were just like a ton of that, you know. So it's fun just trying to fill in all these things and find the balance. But then I feel sad if Ruigi and Arn like both wanted to like hang out with me, and I had to blow one off to hang out with the other. Like I don't want to shiny female, hey. Yes, okay, it's not the male, we want the male, but I will take it. We still got like 10 minutes left. I told you, the sweet on your sandwiches. Like, you always get loads of psychic shinies with a sweet on your sandwich. Yes, there we go. Cram is a funny word. It's why Cramin is a master of picking good names. So, okay. So let's see. And every time you say Cram, you keep thinking I say Cramorant, like the Pokemon. I know, right? That's the thing. It's like this Cramorant too. there's so much Cramin references to cram in to the dictionary, to this stream. Okay, so right. We're after a male though. We've got plenty of female espers, and we've got plenty of female Meowsticks. Unless I already had a male shiny, and then that actually was like the one that I needed. But no, I think we do need the male. Unless I have forgotten something, I think we do need the male. So, chat. Okay, hang on. We got like what? 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. Okay, 11 minutes left. In the emojis. I don't know if there's anything to do with, like, psychic emojis, like a brain or something. Maybe we could have... Okay, yellow hearts, brains, and like, the male symbol. Like, the male symbol. If we have those three emojis, spam those three emojis into the chat, and let's see if we can get this male Esper to round things out. A very fun few weeks of shiny hunting. Yeah, because we're running out of shinies. So, because, yeah, hang on. Let me just look at my list of shinies. So the Galar starters, yeah, no, I've kind of explained about them. And again, there are some things I'll look for in outbreaks. Like, I will keep checking these games every day in case I get any good outbreaks. But still, like... but yeah, I'm kind of running out of things where if I don't have outbreaks or I've already got them on stream once before or whatever. So I do need that 4th Oricorio, as well. But again, like, you know, I can get that whenever. And that's a bit easier with a ghost sandwich, to be honest, than if we end up doing some Oricorio hunting in a few minutes, it will still be tougher than if we... Okay, there are loads of males up here. This is cool. Oh no, I ran into one accidentally. JP, you keep thinking of jamming because of it. I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I just say cramming, like with no musicality, that there's a part of your brain which starts going jamming, and I hope you like jamming too. So I do apologize for that. Okay, so let's see. We got lots of males over here. This is good. Okay, clearly the emojis and the are already working their magic. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, we haven't had any like buzzing or banging or anything for a while, have we? So that's pretty good. But yes, hang on, let me just check. Yeah, mostly migrated back to Sword Shield to get shinies. No, that's fair enough. That's because I'm running out of them on Scarlet and Violet. Sandwich hunting is too good. It's too good a method. So yeah, I would do the Dynamax adventures if I had more patience, but the problem with the Dynamax adventures is, say if I don't have a shiny of a Pokemon, the problem is that I have to, like, essentially, I have to beat that Pokemon in the Dynamax adventures. Like, I have to change which path I'm... Like, usually for Dynamax adventures, you can kind of, like, take a path of least resistance, but sometimes you can kind of, like, make the game harder for yourself by, like, going up against certain Pokemon. It's like, oh, I need that Pokemon as a shiny, but it'll be hard to beat it with this team, and so you kind of... I don't know. But yes. But Chloe Rainbow Starlight, yeah, so you're a YouTuber too. Well, it's lovely to meet you, and thank you for joining today. Matthew Betley, big chess, love it. It is, but it is though, right? Like Fire Emblem, the core gameplay of Fire Emblem is big chess. Like there's lots and lots of characters. They kind of have like unique traits, and it's a thing where you can move them a certain number of squares. Like, you know, it's big chess. So, let's see. So let's see what we got here. One day we'll have to make a command for your roles, Beau. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea, actually, in all honesty. Because I actually didn't see if anyone was like, oh, you're a voice actor? What roles have you played or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone was like interested in that or whatever. But let's see. Doop doop doop. Let me just check for a sec because we only got a few minutes left, so I just want to stretch this out a little bit. Okay. Okay, another shiny I sort of have but don't have is Squawkabilly, which is a Pokemon whose name I hate saying with my accent because if I say the word squawk, I say squawk, but if I say Squawkabilly, it kind of doesn't work because the whole idea of Squawkabilly is that it's a pun on Rockabilly. So if I say Squawkabilly, that like doesn't work. So I have to say Squawkabilly, but don't take that to mean that English people say the word squawk as squawk. Okay, that's that's your like the more you know lesson for today. Da 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 da. Like English people say squawk, but if you ever hear an English person say Squawkabilly, it's because they know what the pun is supposed to be and they're getting the pun right. They're not they're doing it to preserve the pun, not to not because that's how they say the word squawk. So, but yeah, Squawkabilly. So I have 2 of the Squawkabillies. I have like green and yellow, but it's so annoying. I've got like 3 yellow ones, and then I got 1 green one randomly. So, but I still need blue and I still need white. But the problem is, I don't think, with the possible exception of outbreaks, I don't think you can really control. You can super duper control what type of Squawkabilly you get. So it's a bit hard and awkward getting like the Squawkabillies you want. So, but again, and they're quite small and tiny and stuff, and the shiny hunt for them is like a bit boring. So, a lot of like picnic resetting stuff. It's just not very fun from like a streaming perspective. There's like a lot of concentrating and a lot of, it's just like a lot of concentrating and a lot of not being able to see if you're not in handheld and stuff like that, that old chestnut. So hold on, what other shinies? And then the funny one actually is grass types. The one I need the most of is grass types, so I definitely need to get more like salty and sour Herba Mystica to do those. Because there's actually a whole bunch of grass types I don't have. But the problem is one of the grass types is Bounce Sweet, which, if I understand or remember correctly, I think that's like only in trees or something like that. So if it's only in trees, that means it's like really hard to shiny hunt for. So I'm going to have to wait until they make a better game with shiny Bounce Sweet in to get a shiny Bounce Sweet, or just hope for like Pokemon Go or something to implement it. But yeah, so Bounce Sweet's one of them. Another one is Sunflora. I did get Sunkern on the Poké Radar on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but then I realized that the Poké Radar is just it's just a bit too stressful. Like this is way more fun doing the picnic method, and just I can't go back to something that's more stressful. If I'd have done Poké Radar hunting back in the day, maybe I'd have had more patience for it, but it's just not as fun. This is way more fun. Just being able to like be chill and chat to you guys and be like, oh, it's a shiny. This is way better. So I got Sunkern on Brilliant Diamond because similarly on this game, like Sunkerns don't spawn very well. Like they only spawn in like certain spots, like 2 at a time or something like that. Maybe they appear in outbreaks, but just generally, if you don't have an outbreak, at the very least, if you don't have an outbreak, I don't think they spawn very well. But Sunflora, however, does spawn really well. So Sunflora is really good. It's not really good, but it's pretty good for hunting. If you go to the sort of near the Team Star Fairy base, in that northernmost section, and you make a grass sandwich there, like you'll get a bunch of Hoppips and Jumpluffs and Skiplumes or whatever. But and there's also something else you get. I can't remember what now off the top of my head. There's like some other grass type you get, but you will get Sunflora as well. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a Sunflora, but I have tried a bit of Sunflora hunting there, and it's a pretty good spot for that. So I still do need Sunflora. But I originally had Sunflora on my list of like, I probably won't get that because Sunkern's awkward. But then I remembered Sunflora do actually spawn on that part of the map. So I think I would be able to get one with enough luck and sandwiches. And then I do need the like artisanal antique whatever it's called, Poltergeist. I do need one of those, or Sinistchar. I do need one of those as a shiny. I have one, but I need two. I have the regular Sinistchar and Poltergeist as shiny, and I have one antique one, but I don't have two antique ones, so I need to make another. I need to catch another. But again, those only appear in outbreaks, so again, that's why I need to, like, you know, do some outbreak hunting or whatever, and why I, you know, like handheld outbreak hunts, you know. But like, I can't just do them on stream. I can't just open up my game and do a hunt for that, you know. So Bouncy outbreaks, it's on the ground. Oh, they do appear in outbreaks. Okay, well, that's good to know. Well, that's why I will keep checking for outbreaks then, if Bounce Sweet do appear. But yeah, otherwise I don't think you can just, like, say, make a grass sandwich and run around and get them if you don't have an outbreak or anything. So, Zach, hi, welcome. 3 houses removed the triad of weapons. Yeah, that was a bit of a shame. But Engage brought that back, right? Or didn't it? I can't remember. I feel like Engage brought that back. I need to play Engage again. But yes. So let's see what we got here. And then Metamaxis, hate to raid and dash, but conked out after stream, need to make dinner. We'll keep lurking there. Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Akira, you love your tea ghost. Ooh, I know, right? Because that's the thing. I know I said this last week, but yeah, I have so I have Sinistee and Poltergeist, right? I have both of them as shiny. I have their, like, antique, you know, the one with the mark on them forms. I have each of those for Sinistee and Poltergeist. And then for Sinistchar and Poltergeist, I have for Sinistchar and Poltergeist, I do have so I have each of those as shiny, and then I have one of those shiny with the mark. So it's like I really need do really need the other though. And then what were the other grass types? Oh yeah, and then Grookey, and then obviously I still need the Grookey. But then let me just check. And then for ghost types, I need Poltergeist and Oricorio, but I've already talked about them. For normal types, I need Squawkabilly, and then one that I'll talk about in a sec. Bless me. So I could feel that coming on. How long have we got left? 3 minutes. Oh gosh. Spam those emojis. The yellow brain male symbols. Get those, like, yellow hearts, male symbols, and like a brain power in, like, yellow psychics or something. Although I suppose pink would work as well. You could do pink as well. Pink and yellow, male and brains, or whatever comes up for psychic in the emoji chat. Okay. Sorry, have to sniff after sneezing. Oh gosh. And then so I do have, and then for normal types, Squawkabilly, but I need I do need Kamala, but Kamala's quite a hard one. Again, that's like Outbreak. You can get them near Larry, funnily enough, because I've forgotten the name of Larry's place. It's a mundane name. I remember it's mundane. Like Normal Town. But it's like Average or something. I can't remember. But so you can get them near Larry, but again, like, just a lot of other normal types spawn as well, like Squovet, I think, and maybe like Vigoroth or something. I can't remember, but like, yeah, it's hard to, like, isolate just Kamala, so it's a bit of a hard one to shiny hunt for, unfortunately, without an outbreak. Not impossible. Definitely easier than some of the things I've said, like easier than like Bounce Sweet and Sunkan, but still, it's just a bit annoying. For poison, I do need that other Toxtricity like we tried for last week, but I can do that whenever. You know, that'll happen. There may even be an outbreak for that, possibly, where like the specific form I need appears in an outbreak, and if a Toxtricity with like the lower amp form appeared, then yeah, I would like outbreak hunt for that, definitely. And then what else? Oh yeah, and then Bug. So someday, like again, if I do get my own place someday and I can stream, like if I could, so if I got my own place and I could stream or whatever, I might do some kind of like 18 days in a row streaming challenge or something crazy like that, where I hunt for Vivian, because I do have a shiny Vivian, but it's only like the regular form. I don't have any of the regional Vivian forms as shiny. But I do have, like, but I do have a bunch of postcards in my Pokemon Go where I could, you know, start shiny hunting for the Vivian. But for that, I would need to, like, hunt for a load of Herba Mystica before I do any kind of challenge like that. But yeah, someday, like, say if I did get, like, my own place or something, and I'd be like, I could do, like, 20 streams in a row, 20 days of streaming. I would like each day come on and stream, and unfortunately I think our sandwiches run out. I would like come on stream and we could just hunt for one of the Vivian forms. It's a bit easier to do in handheld, I won't lie, but that could be a fun thing. Like, okay, today we're going with like the UK Vivian, and then okay, now we're going for like French Vivian, and now we're going for like, you know, Alaskan Vivian or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like it would be fun. But yeah. Ooh, an Excadrill. Maybe I'll fight that in a minute once the stream is ended, to see if there's any Herba Mystica there. But chat, my lovely, 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 lovely chat. That would be so much streaming. Medali, that's it, because it's kind of like middle. It sounds like middle. That's the one. So yes. Okay, so we're saving 50 bajillion times. But yeah, chat. My lovely chat. Thank you for joining me on these shiny hunts. I'm going to go and get something to eat. I'm sorry that those emojis at the end didn't work, but yeah. So, but again, this isn't like the end of all shiny hunts. Like, Gen 10 is sure to have some busted new shiny hunting mechanic, and we will absolutely be doing that on stream. But still, you know, and there are other ones we'll do. Like one of the ones that I haven't got, the other ones I was going to say that I didn't mention, I need the White Flower Floette. I got one of those this week, but like apparently even in handheld, they're really hard to get apparently. So I did get one of those. I do need another, but again, I'll save that for handheld, I think. And then the only other one, and again, like I said, this one I may do someday as like a special as well. Like Vivian is one thing we could do as like a special, like, okay, we're doing like a stream every day to get all the different Vivians. I'm going to stream until I get each Vivian kind of thing. The other one is someday, maybe we'll have some kind of celebration stream and I'll do a shiny hunt for Zorua. Because that it's a bit boring and tedious, but it could be a good one to do like a Q&A on or something like that as well. So yeah, Zorua would be a really interesting one to do. We'll probably get it after about like 20 minutes, and then it'll be like, why did I do this stream? But anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna go get some food and enjoy stuff. Please like the stream if you haven't, particularly the raiders and stuff. But thank you for the amazing chats and questions and comments and insight, and it was really lovely backing and forthing with you guys. We'll talk more about Persona next week. But yeah, I love all the little things to do. I've done my first palace. Last night, I also went into Mementos for the first time. That's like where I'm about if you want to know where I am. And I finally got to hang out with Arn because it's kind of hard to hang out with her and before that point. And I finally got to, and it was great. So yeah, I still don't know what like an Arcana burst is. The game keeps telling me about it. I don't know what it is. Hopefully I figure that out before next week, and maybe someone will kindly put it in the chat before time finishes. But no, so thank you for the raid, Metamaxes. And thank you all for joining me, new people, old people. Thank you, Miss Wannikins. Oh, the cat's going nuts. Well, yep, no, that's time to end the stream, isn't it? Thank you all so much for joining. Oh yeah, I didn't say what I was going to be doing next week. Well, I'll sit and think about it, because we actually did have that good suggestion today from Kevin about the Paper Mario Maybe I will end up asking a poll on Twitter and something, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it's one of those things where neither game really takes that long, and then it won't actually be many streams, and then I don't know. We'll figure it out. But next week though, we'll be doing something new because yeah, we've kind of run out of shinies as I've outlined. So it won't be the end of shiny hunting, and not even the end of shiny hunting on this game, but it will be the end of, sort of weekly shiny hunts, because we kind of did it, chat. We did it. Thanks to all your help and your emojis, we got all the stuff that was like on my list. And actually, there's one other thing we'll do very quickly before we wrap up. There's one thing we'll do very quickly, and then once we do these two things, we'll wrap up. We got all these shiny. Look at all these shinies that we got. Wow, that was a lot of shinies. We need to take screenshots of all these or something. Oh, hang on, going the wrong way. Yeah, I forgot we got the Blossom. Oh, that's funny. We got Blossom. So how many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 shinies. Good golly gosh. Let's just... Hitting your 66, you're 70, you're 66. Okay, hang on then. So... Hang on. What we'll do very quickly is we'll quickly evolve all of these just so that, because we wanted to... We'll evolve these just so I can really max out my Pokedex. And then we'll call that it. But thank you again for joining me in these past few weeks. I hope these have been chill and fun and that you've enjoyed. And I hope that for some of you as well, that you may try shiny hunting for yourselves. Now that you know how easy shiny hunting is in this game, I hope you give it a go for yourselves if you haven't, because it's really fun and you can get a lot of shinies that you've wanted for like 20 years and now you finally have them. So thank you. There we go, reboot! And then finally, because I already have a Grookey in my Pokemon home, hopefully this one's like a higher level or whatever. And there we go. Here we go, last evolution. And there we go, Thwacky. Lovely. So yeah, so I do need one more of each, but I'll do that eventually someday, or on Pokemon Go or whatever. But anyway, thank you all so much. I'm terrible at goodbyes. This is goodbye now for real. Take care, everyone. We've got to say 50 bajillion times, because that's what we do here at Beau Video Games. But then that will really be it. Thank you again for joining me. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will see you next week for some brand new, exciting adventure. I can't wait for it, even though I don't know what it is yet. Take care, guys. Bye.